This is Bill Moseley, and I listen to the Skeleton Crew. I like to keep my standards low. That way I'm never disappointed.
I've been violent, you vile, venomous, vile little bitches, bang, bike it and ring, ring, ring. Texas chainsaw, left his brains off, tangling from his neck while his head barely hangs on. Blood, guts, guns, cuts, knives, lies, wives, nuns, slut. Bitch, I'ma kill you. You don't wanna fuck with me.
I turned into a teenage cougar mob. You better duck when I show up. Cougar mob.
Yo, it's 8:11 Texas time on a Friday night. I know nobody's listening because y'all are all zooming, but I got a shot of hot rock and roll for you anyway.
Do you wanna play? It's party time. We gotta party. It's party time. Do you wanna play? It's party time.
All right, guys, we are back. It's the Skeleton Crew, and this is the final installment of our Texas Chainsaw Massacre retrospective. This is Alex. I'm joined, as always, by Dan and Jamie. On this show, we will cover the Texas Chainsaw Massacre remake, the Texas Chainsaw Massacre prequel, The Beginning, and Texas Chainsaw 3D, 2013. Just came out this weekend. Alright guys, this is going to be a long show. There's no time to waste, so let's just get right into it and get it going right off the bat.
On the floating ships oceans, I did all my best to smile.
Tell me how much you got.
How much?
That much? This much. That much.
Hey, are you okay?
They're all dead.
Oh, we have to call the cops, I guess. Excuse me.
What the hell was that?
What?
I just saw something. He's killing him!
Who's killing who?
What's wrong with you people?
Oh, my.
Okay, Texas Chainsaw Massacre, the remake, 2003.
Yes.
Daniel Pearl, cinematographer from the original Texas Chainsaw, reprised his position for this movie.
Nice.
The then unknown John Larroquette provided the narration in the original Texas Chainsaw, in this too, I guess, in the prologue.
Yeah.
The film which you are about to see is an account of the tragedy which befell a group of 5 youths. It is all the more tragic in that they were young, but had they lived very, very long lives, they could not have expected, nor would they have wished to see, as much of the mad and macabre as they were to see that day. For them, an idyllic summer afternoon became a nightmare. For 30 years, the files collected dust in the Cold Cases Division of the Travis County Police Department. Over 1,300 pieces of evidence were collected from the crime scene at the Hewitt residence.
Despite becoming a distinguished actor in the years since, he happily agreed to reprise his role for the remake. Dolph Lundgren was actually considered to play Leatherface.
Really?
But he turned them down, or they turned him down when he said, "I must break you." I'm just kidding.
He is such a douche.
No, he actually turned them down because he wanted to spend more time with his family.
Oh.
Oh, isn't that cute? He wants to walk around the house with his kid.
Oh, I thought that was just a joke. Wow. So they really did consider him? Wow. No shit.
Yeah, he wanted to hang out and watch TV with his family. The famous grandpa from the first 4 movies is not included here. And I want to take something back.
Yeah.
I was trolling around this Facebook group. I think it's called like Leatherface or Texas Chainsaw Fans something United. Just dropping links to our retrospective on there.
Yeah.
See, I feel bad about the grandpa rant now because one of the guys there, he was posting pictures that he drew of grandpa just like hanging out and chilling in all these weird situations. And I started to say to myself, that's kind of cool, man. Like, yeah, let's just like, grandpa's like a fun character. Yeah, let's put him here. Let's have him with the Brady Bunch family. Let's have him with this family. Let's have him on Married with Children.
Yeah.
He's a gnome.
Yeah.
That's a cool thing. Yeah, the cool grandpas in all the movies. Why were you so...
Put a Six Flags t-shirt on him.
Yeah. Why was I so nutty about it? I guess what I was looking for in those first 4 movies was some kind of continuity, some kind of sense-making.
It
like
doesn't.
Jamie... What's that?
I said it doesn't. There is none.
Yeah. And just like Jamie said, something that really struck me, that she said, she likes part 3, and it made no sense, and she didn't care. And I'm that way, too. I really don't care. But I felt that in doing a full, in-depth retrospective, we really do have to point that out. That
Right.
just makes no sense. So while I sound crazy and neurotic and like I really give a damn, I really don't. And
Yeah.
I really have nothing against Grandpa. I think it's ridiculous.
Yeah.
By the 3rd and 4th movie, but I don't care. He's cool.
Well, we were just trying to drive home just how fucked up it was. Like, how the family, goes through all that shit, and then, they obviously have Grandpa pick up a hammer and shit like that.
Oh, yeah, that I don't like. I don't like the fact that in part 2 they made him hit the girl with the hammer again. That's ridiculous.
Yeah. Well,
he just did that, dude.
But I think what you were trying to say is, what the fuck was his purpose? Why was he there at 100 some odd years old? Like, like you said, we're not pissed.
Creepy as fuck, and he was very successful. That's the only reason he was there, was to make your skin crawl.
Right.
Yeah. Well, and I made one mistake. I said in part 1 he should have already been dead for some odd years. That's wrong. People do live to 108, but I was going by the math of part 2 with a 137
Right.
minus 12. Either way, it's more realistic, and I wouldn't say that he should have been dead for 50 years by then either. So.
Yeah, but see, the lack of continuity from film to film, it like we said before, it goes everywhere, left, right, any way you could possibly go. One doesn't make sense. Like we said too, they keep certain things and then disregard everything else. So that's why I'm really excited about this one, getting into this one, because they kept a lot. They kept a lot of the the good... I feel like they kept all the good shit that they needed to make a good movie, and then they dropped all the nonsense that Grandpa, and in my opinion anyways. Some people, Jamie, I know you like Grandpa, but I felt like in the remake, I just felt like they
I don't
didn't
want to
really...
like sit on his lap and wiggle or anything.
That's the impression you gave me. But no. So it's just one of those things where that's why that's actually why I really like this remake a lot, because of what they disregarded.
Yeah, I really do find it fascinating what the first 3 sequels chose to hold on to and what they chose to disregard. I think it's fascinating.
It is. Yep.
They seem to really want to repeat the same things in every movie, but at the same time, they just do a lot that makes no sense. I was fascinated by it. Well, speaking of those the first 3, in the 3rd Texas Chainsaw Massacre that came out in 1990, there was supposed to be a scene where Leatherface takes off his mask, but to keep an R rating, they actually cut it out of the movie. So, in this movie, that scene was it's pretty much reshot. I think they redid it almost exactly the same way for this remake. So, anyway, so who's the director of this movie?
Matt Wiesel.
No, not Matt Wiesel.
It's Marcus Nispel.
Yeah, and he was the same guy who directed Friday the 13th Remake.
Oh, that's right.
So that's interesting, and that's not hard to figure out if you really think a little bit about it.
Yeah, right?
This movie, where do we start?
Well, we could go with the cast first.
Yeah, who's in this movie? Let's get that out.
So we got Jessica Biel as Erin. We got Jonathan Tucker as Morgan. I like that kid. He's a pretty good actor. We got Erica Learson, yes, as Pepper. She's the hitchhiker chick. And we got Mike Vogel as Andy. And
the boyfriend?
He is the blonde kid who hooks up with the...
Okay.
Yeah. And then the boyfriend is played by Eric Balfour, Kemper.
Yeah, Kemper. I like Kemper.
And we got Andrew Bernowski as...
That's Leatherface.
Yeah.
Well, no shit. What have we got here? A fucking comedian, private joker. I admire your honesty. Hell, I like you. You can come over to my house and fuck my sister. What's your excuse?
Sir, excuse for what, sir?
I'm asking the fucking questions here, Private. Do you understand?
Sir, yes, sir.
Well, thank you very much. Can I be in charge for a while?
Sir, yes, sir.
Are you shook up? Are you nervous?
Sir, I am, sir.
Do I make you nervous?
Sir.
Sir, what? Are you about to call me an asshole?
Sir, no, sir.
How tall are you, Private?
Sir, 5'9", sir.
5'9". I didn't know they stacked shit that high.
Yeah, that's his name, Arlie Ermey.
Yep.
He's the guy from Full Metal Jacket.
Yes.
So everybody knows and loves him.
What did you guys think about the beginning of the flick? See, I thought that set the tone for the whole movie, really. Like, right off the bat, when they found the hitchhiker there. I mean, right there. I see, when you said...
That headshot is beautiful. I do have to give him credit for that.
Oh, the camera through the head?
Yes. I mean, that was really, really nice and really effective. I give him total credit for that, yeah.
But for the whole tone, though, after that, I think, like, when she shot herself in the head and all that crazy shit happened, well, first of all, I like the whole van thing. They kept it in the van, kind of like the first movie. They didn't copy any scenes from it or whatever, but they did stay in the van for a good amount of time, which, they did in the original, so I like that kind of wink, and, but when that shit happened, to me, that was fucked up, and yeah, you're right, though, that shot is something to be, it's definitely something to remember, but, I just thought from there, it was almost like, oh, fuck, all bets are off. And everything that happened after, it just seemed like, obviously you could tell these kids were fucked after a while, after you realized everywhere you turn, there's these fucking hicks out to get them, basically. But I just thought that... Yeah. What do they call her? The tea lady? Is that what they call her?
That fat bitch? Oh my gosh, she looked like fucking triplets sharing a head. How fat could she be?
She reminded me of the animatronic woman on the top of the funhouse in the funhouse.
Yeah. It's huge. What's in the tea there? Hamburgers?
The young one always reminds me of Anne Heche.
I was going to say that. Yep.
All the bootleg snacks. All the 2000 snacks.
She is so fat. Oh my god. I think there's a lot of great scenes. I think there's a lot of great tension in this. Just the little things, like when she found the engagement ring. I think that really fleshed out the character. It really brought you... it brought you to a place like these are real people who have dreams and aspirations and that they thought futures. And this is, this is like... These people dying is really important. Like, it's not just a knockoff body count thing.
Right.
It really brings you there. Even like even things that put the movie in perspective, like I forgot who they were running from, but Jessica Biel and the other chick are crazy. They're trying to get the car started. They're freaking out. All of a sudden, the sheriff shows up, and she's like, "You gotta help us." I forgot what happened, but then he shines the flashlight and he finds pot.
Yeah.
And it's like, are you kidding me, dude? Like, there's major shit going on. And it really puts things in perspective. Like, wow, all that shit in life is really meaningless. Like, little things like that really mean nothing in this world. It's all like, and that's really weird how they captured that kind of perspective and really brought you there. The crazy scene when Morgan takes the gun from Hoyt and he puts it up to him and he goes, "Go ahead, you pussy, shoot me."
Yeah, right.
Would you have pulled that trigger if you were in his position?
No. Fuck no, dude.
I will see. looking at the barrel of the gun, you could tell. I mean, if he knew anything, he would have just looked at it. It was a revolver.
Yeah, and you know what's really fucked up about that too, you guys? What really got me was it's a little scene where he grabs the gun from her and he's like, oh, what, like this? And then he puts it fucking right in his thing.
The holster?
Yeah, he puts it, so obviously that's his gun. Right there, I would have fucking known and would have jetted. But yeah, man, that scene really got me. I was like, oh shit.
Yeah, like don't you think he knows if his own gun is loaded? Clearly he doesn't want to die.
Right.
So he would, if it's really loaded, he ain't telling you to pull that trigger, dumbass.
Yeah.
You know, that guy really is stupid. But, you know, one of the things I talked about was in part 2. Yeah, that the remake borrowed was wearing LG's face in front of LG. They kind of put a spin on that, and they made Leatherface wear Jessica Biel's fiance's face.
So good.
That was so eerie and the lighting of the headlights of the car, and the way I think they put it in slow motion, and you could see his eyes. It just looked so. It was like the best possible shot you could ever do to really bring like what that is to life. That was like insane.
It's almost like, oh, pause, look it, oh fuck, it's his face. And you can tell it's his face too, man. And I think that's the thing that really gets you. She fucking sees it, she's like, oh shit, that's my boyfriend, and she fucking just books it.
Like, can you imagine, like, Jamie, you've had a boyfriend for a long time. Like, what would you think if, like, this was happening and you looked at his face? Wouldn't you, like, would you even be able to function after that? Like, that is crazy shit, dude.
You know, I don't know if I'd recognize him. I haven't seen him in 6 months.
You'd be like, hey, are you? No, I can't be him. Like, I don't know, man. If I saw my girlfriend's face on some dude, I would literally, like, I don't know what I would do. But I definitely get a reaction out of me. There are what the F moments. The first one that I think really is just stupid. The dude randomly reaches into a random abandoned car in the lot of 20 abandoned cars and just so happens to pull a jar out with water in it and a picture of the girl who they happen to pick up on the road and happens to blow her brains out in their car.
Yeah, right.
Wow, holy shit, dude, play the lottery tomorrow.
That's Lauren German too. She's the lead in Hostel 2. She's a beautiful actress, by the way. Just want to say that.
Yeah, right. Yeah, I remember hearing about that.
She's amazing. Those eyes, man. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean that is just stupid.
Hey.
Like the thing's crazy about those chicks in the trailer. How do you find other people in the world to co-sign shit like that? Like, how do you find everyone's okay with this whole thing? Like, that's just hard for me to believe. Yeah,
they tried to explain it in the beginning where, you know, basically the whole town moved on and they wanted to stay, and that's basically why they eat people. But, yeah, man, I feel, wouldn't you get a clue, though, once you roll up on a trailer, once you hear the fucking chainsaw stop? Wouldn't you realize that these people are in on it? You know what I mean? And then she's like, we don't have a phone. And then the fucking phone rings, dude. I would have been, oh, and another fucking thing. You guys, please tell me that you guys will fucking co-sign to this one, too. One thing, a what the fuck moment, or I don't know, a continuity, whatever you want to call it. She's trying to feed her tea, right? Now, she never fucking sips that goddamn tea, and she still passes out. Like, she drank something. She never sips it. Why'd you have the tea? Yeah, they're trying to get her to. She never does. She was like, I don't want tea. I forget what her lines are exactly, but she's basically like, are you bitches crazy? Like, there's some guy out there with a fucking chainsaw. Like, I don't care about no goddamn tea. But they keep trying to feed it to her, but she never takes it. And then she's sitting there.
I thought she did. Well, like one.
I could have sworn that she did.
You know what? Then, hey. Please prove me wrong, because I saw that.
Even then, that shouldn't be enough, though. It shouldn't be enough to knock her straight out.
Yeah, I'll give Dan this. I don't think she did till the lady answered the phone, and I think she put the cup up to her mouth. But the thing is, she got dizzy way too quick, dude. Listen, if any drugs work that well, give me some of what she's drinking.
Yeah, right.
And apparently, it has hamburgers in it.
Yeah. You couldn't tell by looking at her stomach, though. I'll tell you that much.
Frisco flavored coffee.
Jessica Biel so hot. I'm thinking, at the end, we're going to do who's the hottest chick, but I'm going to tell you, man, Jessica Biel has one of those rare qualities that she was able to distract me even during what should have been some of the most tense scenes. Like, when she was in that meat locker walking around, man, that stomach, oh shit.
Good Lord.
The stomach and the legs and ass. Oh,
dude.
My God.
Alex, dude, I really am not a Jessica Biel fan. I don't want to say I hate her, but everything she's in, I'm just like, yeah, whatever. Like, I know she's a pretty girl and all that stuff, but she's never like, oh, wow, until I fucking saw this. Then I was like, are you kidding me? Are you fucking kidding me? I can't same. I think I said this before. I can't tell which is better, her fucking tits, ass, or her fucking stomach. I mean, really, if your stomach is inconsistent with your titties and your ass, then you gotta go on.
Yeah, that is crazy. But the one thing disappointed me with Jessica Biel, when she was in the meat locker poking around and she was shivering.
Yeah.
How come her nipples weren't hard?
I know, right?
She's shivering. My eyes are going there. And I do recall, I took note in my mind that there are no nipples.
You know, Alex, I'm glad you said that about the meat locker. I wanted to ask you guys. Now, me personally, I thought the end with Leatherface chasing her around, I think it went on way too fucking long. I mean, really, I think there were 3 different places. I know it was like a part of the abandoned house or something.
Well, one of them was when Morgan got killed. He hung him on a light or something.
Yes.
And that was the first half or first third of the thing, I guess. And what about that? They don't even show Morgan's death, dude? Now, Jamie will probably argue that it was better to not exactly know what he did to him, right, Jamie?
Right, Jamie?
No, actually, no. I wanted to see that.
Okay. Yeah, I guess, because that's what I was recalling. There was something, there was a yearning for his death.
Yeah, because he was a whiny little bitch.
Yeah, right. Yeah, because he was like crying, yeah.
Yeah, no, he
through
was.
the whole damn thing, he was a whiny little bitch. I wanted to slap him the whole time.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, even when he was like, when his bottom lip was quivering in front of the...
Yes, God, every time he quivers that bottom lip, I want to kick him in it.
You little pussy-ass bitch.
Yeah. I think here's one part where they extended this chase scene with those two, and I hate this stuff. Now, if we're coming to the end there with that chasing, because there really isn't much else unless we could do some comparisons as a little mini versus. So Dan, what do you think of, or Jamie, Jessica Biel's hiding in the locker, and she comes out and hacks this dude's arm off. Leatherface. She cuts Leatherface's arm off.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think? That's a pretty major scene.
It was. It definitely was, but I didn't feel like it was like triumphant enough. Like, and that's another thing about the ending of this movie. Like, you would figure that would be a big moment, like a cheer moment or whatever, but at the same time, I think they went overboard with it. She cuts off his arm. She fucking tricks the whole family, gets them out of that fucking, that little place, gets the baby, and then gets away with them. It just seemed like it was,
it all worked out really well for her.
Like Disney came in for a rewrite for the, like what the fuck, man? Like, well, where's Mickey? Like, and it was just one of those things where I didn't buy it. If there wasn't a child involved, and if she got away and, cut off his arm, and it all would have flowed nicely. But because she cut off his arm, fucking got away, tricked the whole family, fucking got the car started, or I forget what she did, and gets the baby, and...
Yeah, she actually stole Hoyt's police car.
Yes.
And everybody thought she was in the truck instead. So that was kind of a great twist, dude. I didn't see that coming, I'll tell you that.
Well, no, we as the audience have no reason to believe she was anywhere else, except in the truck.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it worked. I think that was a successful...
Yeah, that succeeded. I agree with Dan, though. As the people went outside and you see the baby chair empty and you see the... I don't know. Yeah, I think that's all you saw. And then they come in. It's like, what the hell? Or whatever. I was also like, wow, that really... She just kind of went in that trailer and walked down. Nobody saw her. Like, I really don't believe that happened.
And dude, what about after she runs him over? How about that part?
Oh, he's like alive, and then she has to hit him again, right?
She fucking backs over him, I think, too, a few times. Does she not, Jamie? Like,
yeah, that was cool.
It's cool. Dude, don't get me wrong. I love that shit. That's a fucking, oh, fuck yeah moment. But I just feel like that, combined with the arm chopping off, combined with the baby, but, and then she got away, too. It just feels like it was just way too, oh, she made it. Like, if this is Texas Chainsaw, man, like, that's why, I don't know, I know we're jumping ahead here, but they should have fucking ended it at, more like the beginning, dude.
Well, here's one thing. I think that whole ending scene, I think it really is like peaks and valleys till the very end. And one, I'm gonna say, on the way to a valley, man, like something, she's driving away, you kind of think it's over, and all of a sudden, there's one last jump scare. Now, this is a great jump scare. Leatherface hits the car with the chainsaw, holding it with one arm, which, how did he start the goddamn thing? I don't know. He has one arm.
Yeah.
But, I think...
yeah, right? Good point, dude.
Yeah, I think Stretch had a better chance of starting hers in part 2, but...
Prime and pull.
But, here's what's wrong with that scene. The obvious. How in the fuck did Leatherface know that the cop wasn't in the car? Because she drove for a good little bit before she finally caught up to him, and it was nighttime. He would have never really made a clear, take on what exactly happened that far down the road. I remember she was driving for a good chunk before she actually hit him.
Dude, you are fucking 100... Dude, I never thought of that, man. You're right, dude. You're right.
Yeah.
How do you know?
There wasn't... Yeah, and like you said, too, it's fucking dark out, dude. Like, how... Yeah, dude, what the fuck? Maybe was she... I don't know, maybe she was driving a little too erratic, but even at that point, it's like, I don't know. Yeah, you're right.
How would he know that? That's just so weird, but it was still cool.
No, I do like the ending, and I want to make that clear. I do like the ending up until... Right before the ending, though, it seemed like it dragged a little bit when he was chasing her around. Another thing, too... With the cinematography in this, now you gotta give it up for the woods scene when they're traveling through the woods. I think it's from one house to what is it? Oh God, no, it's from the old mill there to the house, and how they keep going back and forth. Where the with the light shining through those trees, man, come on, that's some good shit, right?
No, that is really pretty.
Okay.
That's
good.
really pretty. And it's not the angles that the cinematography here is still, I think, really good. There are some really good shots here. He knows what he's doing. Knows what he's doing.
Yeah, he knows what he's doing. You just gotta like his style to like it. But so, what I like about this movie right off the bat is that vintage look that they give. Because you notice all the movies in the the horror movies in the early 2000 era, 2000 to 2000, I don't know, 5 or so. You ever notice that they all had that greenish kind of tint to them?
Yeah.
I didn't like that, man. I felt like every time I was going to watch a new horror movie, I'd see that. And that got old really quick.
I don't like this either.
You don't like the, sepia tone type look?
I don't like the look of this film, period.
Really?
Because you obviously both like this movie, and I do not.
Really?
The look, though? Really, Jamie? See, that I figured the look would be the first thing because especially since we talked about the first one.
I cannot stand him as a director, period. I don't like pretty much anything he does. I don't know, it irritates me. But what I dislike, now there are things I do like about it. I've seen this movie a lot of times. I own this movie. Yeah. Sometimes I'm just in the, I'll follow Devil's Rejects with this movie simply because they play Sweet Home Alabama in the very beginning. So after I get finished watching Devil's Rejects, when you end with Freebird, then I'm like, ooh, I want to pick it up with with Ford Skinner, so I'll watch this. I know that doesn't make any sense at all, but that's just
no, it does. No,
but and so there are things I do like about it. It's just that overall, I don't like when you go down to the basement and everything is so drippy and just everything is wet. There's a foot of water. There's just rusty crap and blood and nasty shit everywhere. And I'm like, it's way over the top. It is really way over the top.
You think there's too much artistic, rustic, old-looking stuff?
No, I just think there's too much crap. It's his teeth here and ears there. And we get it, guy. Right. We understand.
Yeah, but what's so different about that compared to when the girl went in the room and all that shit was in the room in the original?
Everything was dry. This I just feel is like, I don't know, I would believe that setting. You know,
maybe they need a humidifier in there.
This setting I don't believe. I also have a thing about too many mutants in one town, you know, like that really bothers me if there are just too many freaks. And this town, everybody's a freak. It's just like, oh, stop it. You know, it's just, it gives it sort of a sideshowy feel.
That inbred feel. Yeah, I know what you mean. Almost like, even though these people are crazy, you still can't win with everybody else, too.
I do love Arlie Ermey in this movie. I mean, he ad-libbed a great chunk of his lines, and it's awesome. I love Eric Balfour in this. Jessica Biel is good in this, and she looks really good in this.
Mm-hmm.
And it's jeans.
I gotta start watching reruns of Seventh Heaven.
Seventh Heaven.
Your listeners are going to think I'm a lesbian.
That's fine. They don't care.
But I just, to me, it was too much. And that's his style. I mean, he did the exact same thing with Friday the 13th. I felt it was all style and no substance. And with this one, I really feel like he just grabbed a bunch of people, a bunch of freaky people, threw them together and said, you know, all right, well, this stuff's been going on. I didn't really feel like the characters were grounded. I didn't feel like, I don't know. It's just, I just don't connect with it as well as I do the others. And
really?
Yeah.
Now, Jamie,
I mean, I like the scene where he chops off the leg as the guy's running through the laundry, you know. There are things here and there I like, but
wasn't that from High Tension or something? Didn't they do that there?
I'm pretty sure, yes. I'm almost positive, yes.
Okay, yeah.
Yep.
All right, well, I guess we'll talk about the movie anyway. Yeah.
Well, I just want to make it clear that I don't dislike this film because it's a remake. I have no problems with remakes if they're good.
Mm-hmm.
I am not crazy about this. I'm like, okay, here's another thing too. They give him a reason, like with the whole, you know, oh, they made fun of him when he was a kid, you know, and you know, people like you, and does anybody care about me, my boy?
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
I don't need that, you know. I don't need a reason. I don't need that kind of reason. I don't want him to be, you know, that picked on child that grew into that, and that's just, I don't know. That's not the leather face that I want.
It also gives him a reason to wear the faces.
Well, I think I like the fact that he wears them because he has this, well, who knows? You know, I mean, the original leather, you don't know why he wore those. And, I mean, it was likely, it was because he was fucked up, you know?
Right.
You know, he has enough reason to be fucked up growing up in the family that he did. Right. This, they give you the added reason, which I don't really think is necessary, and I kind of think it takes away from some of the scary. You know, I like the mystery of it. Now look, now you're all sad. All right, we'll talk about the good thing.
I just look at it like, you know what? They did their own thing, so it stands on its own enough, and it's its own story, different family, different everything. I don't know. I just feel like this movie's fucking solid, but I look at Leatherface's, he totally plays it different. What's his name? Andrew Barnowski or whatever. He doesn't play it like a retard. He plays it like a silent, you know, yeah, maybe he's got some mental issues, but he's a silent killer. If I recall, there's no squeals in this, right, guys? There's none of that, right? I mean, yeah, so I think this is just a whole different tone. I mean, you know, what is it? Andrew Foreman, Brad Fuller, those two producers from Platinum Dunes. Now, I hate Platinum Dunes. I hate everything that they've done.
Platinum Dunces.
Yes, exactly, dude. But see, that's why these two movies that they made, the remake and the beginning, I really think it's their strongest work. If anything good came out of those two dudes fucking putting their feet in the horror world, it's these two movies. You know, so yeah, so.
Well, just so you know, this is the most successful remake of all.
That doesn't make it good.
No, I'm just saying.
I don't like the art direction, and I don't like the look. You know, I just
Just mentioning facts. All I'm not saying whether or not that has any bearing on the quality.
Say what you were going to say. What you're going to say about it.
No, I was just saying, just so you know, this is one of the highest grossing remakes. It was actually the most successful, and it could be. I'm not going to say it was the reason the trend really took off. It could have been. I don't really know. There were a few before that, like House on Haunted Hill.
Yeah, it really started in the late 90s, I think. But
yeah.
This one was one of the, obviously, the big one.
I think this is the one that made it okay for all the other big horror franchises to go ahead with it. I mean, I don't
agree.
know.
No, you're right, Alex. But I think they might have tried with a couple other ones, but they just weren't successful. Now, you don't hate this movie by any means, right? I mean...
No, I don't. The issues that I have with it are purely aesthetic. As far as the story goes, story has never mattered. And as far, in any of the other sequels, so why the hell would I care about it now?
Yeah,
all I want to do is be entertained. But to me, I prefer movies like this to be a little grittier.
Okay.
And I don't like the sepia tone. I really don't. I feel like I just get tired of looking at it, Well, like I said, the art direction, I think the art director just went, or the production designer just went, I don't know, nuts.
Yeah.
With this movie. And to me, it's just, there's so much that it takes away from the impact of the really nasty stuff that is down there. I don't think you need to bombard me with nasty crap, because then I don't know what to look at. But give me, a handful of, or a couple dozen even, of disturbing things, and you've got my attention.
See, that's weird, because I think it's opposite, really. Like, I feel like the only really nutty thing was the basement, unless I'm forgetting, because the house looked pretty normal to me, like, all around.
Yeah, the house was okay. It's mainly the basement.
And also, you like part 2 so much, and that was like a fun house of freaky things all around, skeletons and everything else, and I thought part 1 had a whole...
it wasn't, everything wasn't dripping with blood and,
like I said,
stagnant water. It just doesn't make any sense,
Like I said, maybe they didn't have a humidifier in the house. I don't know.
Somebody needs to get down there and fix that hell of a leak they've got.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, but that was a basement, though. I mean, it's I don't know. I think you're right, and I think it's no pun intended. It's drenched with that whole, let's put teeth here and a jar with eyeballs here and a nose here and a face over here. That's true, but I think you come to expect that. Almost like you would expect the grandfather in all those movies. You expect body parts strung out through the house. And I expected a little bit more design with them. And I think they brought it to be more realistic by just kind of having them lay around. But I guess the dripping thing, I don't know. I guess it's atmosphere. I never really thought about it as like a negative. I really just don't understand I don't get words like not enjoyable. I don't know. But I kind of like
That's fine, and there are a lot of people out there who really enjoy this movie, and they're going to be ticked at me, but I don't care. That's just the way I feel,
No, that's cool. That's cool. What I really wanted to point out was, there's an awesome perspective change. And to me, this even cried for a prequel. When Jessica Biel survived Leatherface, and she became the hitchhiker, much like the chick who blew her head off in the beginning. Like, when Jessica Biel escapes and she's, kind of walking weird, and she kind of, the trucker picks her up. I mean, it really brings you back to the beginning of the movie, and it's like you actually wonder to yourself, what exactly did that chick go through to get to the state of mind that she got to? To the point where she'd, kill herself. How bad was it for her? And... that would have been actually a great idea for a prequel to see her journey.
That's another thing I don't buy about this, is that as mindless as Jessica was, as Aaron, was when the guy first picked her up. I mean, she's freaking out.
Right.
And then 3 minutes later, she's concocting this wild plan to kidnap a child and hijack a car. I don't buy it,
Hey, have you guys ever been? I mean, and listen, we've never been chased by a guy with a chainsaw, but I cannot imagine being that distraught. Being that distraught and that fucked up, and she just grabs the steering wheel. Like, I'm sorry, dude. If anybody grabs my fucking steering wheel, dude, you're getting at least a little shove. Like, get away from me, bitch. Like, what are you, crazy? Like, you can't do shit like that. I thought that was a little far-fetched. It was like, hey, I understand you're trying to convey craziness here, but you're not that crazy where, and she was talking. She was like, no, no. And, it's like, just tell the fucking guy, there's people trying to fucking kill me up here. Pull a Yui. That's all you gotta say.
With that, or you just say, look, these guys are there. Just go as fast as you can. If anyone's on the road, don't stop. Just keep going. Do not stop. You know, like just something more realistic. But it was interesting how they brought her exactly to the original Hitchhiker because she was doing the same shit when they drove past the meat company. She was like, no, you're going the wrong way. So it really was full circle. And it's like, wow, she is there where that girl was. So now we saw how you get to that point of your life. But I still don't think Jessica Biel was suicidal, though. But and I think it's unfortunate, actually, the next movie we're going to talk about, that the prequel actually wasn't written around the original Hitchhiker. I thought that'd be interesting to find out how she got there. That would be what makes sense. But I think the reason that you kind of, at this point, you have to make the next movie a prequel is because it's pretty impossible to make a semi-realistic sequel to a movie where the sheriff was mauled by a car, Leatherface has one arm, all this shit went down. Like, where do you really go from there? I think the only thing you could do is make the sheriff alive again, give Leatherface his arm back. The only way to do that is to go back, because I think it's obvious, because the sheriff, like Jamie said, I think he pretty much stole the show. That was actually he was the biggest draw of the movie. He was the most interesting part, the most entertaining.
Oh, definitely.
If you make a sequel, you want him there, and it's just no freaking... Thank God they didn't, take a cue from the original ones and just put the people back in a movie, even if they're dead.
Right.
So, technically, I think they hit every point. Technically, it far exceeds the original, unless you take that artistic viewpoint and say that shit look and the documentary feel that I actually appreciate more than this is better. But technically, it exceeded the original on a realistic level.
Yeah.
I disagree.
I mean, not so much. I don't know. I kind of think so. I don't know. I understand what you're saying, but.
Well, logistically speaking, dude, they had better equipment, they had fucking better actors. I mean, but that's not taking away anything from the original. I think those certain things actually help. When you're trying to fucking get a movie going for nearly no money involved and shoestring budget or whatever. So I think that's what you're saying, Alex. Like, it's good on every aspect as far as like we just said, financially speaking, it's a better movie, technically speaking. But
the lighting is better.
Everything's better, really. But then again, it's 2003.
Everything is not better. All right, let me ask you this: at any point during the remake, at any point at all, were you scared?
Fuck yeah. Yeah.
When are you scared in this movie? This movie is not scary.
We talked about all those tension scenes.
There's a difference between tension and actual fear. And I'm talking about actual fear. And, I mean, I don't even really feel there was a lot of tension here. I mean,
No, Jamie, you're wrong there. That's wrong.
I mean, it's fun to watch the blood fly all over on, a little bit. There was no tension here. This is not a scary movie at all. The first one is a textbook scary movie,
Yeah, but Jamie, Sheriff Hoyt was very intimidating. Those scenes with the kid holding the gun, putting the gun in the kid's mouth, didn't know what the fuck. He was like, no, don't make me sit here. He's sitting there, put the gun in his own mouth. That whole thing, he holds the gun to the sheriff. That was tension.
The difference is, though, you don't know where he's going to go with that. You're right.
Right. Yeah.
It can go one way or the other. But I didn't care. So there was no tension. I didn't give a shit about that character. I've already said Morgan, he annoyed the shit out of me. I mean, I'm sitting there hoping he's going to get his face blown off.
No, but he didn't annoy you at that point.
He annoyed me from the very beginning.
Why?
Because he was a whiny bitch throughout the entire thing. All he did was whine and complain.
Yeah, but you know what? And I also want to point out before we go ahead with this, I also found it interesting that there was no fat asswipe character. What's his name?
Oh,
I don't even know his name. The guy in the wheelchair.
Franklin. I mean,
Franklin,
to me,
yeah.
Morgan was Franklin.
Yeah, he was without the wheelchair. I thought that was interesting, that they got rid of the wheelchair.
Well, one thing I liked about Morgan, too, man, they started off by making him the typical pothead character, like when she was like, yeah, I forget the hitchhiker said something, and he's like, oh my god, I'm so high right now. That, to real potheads, that shit pisses us off, dude. I don't like stuff like that, I just look at it like a cop-out. So that's one thing that, even though he was a little whiny bitch, I'm glad they didn't make him, fucking... whatever, Jay and Silent Bob type of shit, because I really can't stand that. You would think maybe I'd have a different perspective towards it, because, you know how much weed I smoke, but at the same time, it's almost like, come on, really?
I would have broken her fucking arm for throwing that joint out the window.
Oh,
I know.
And how about when they leave the fucking pinata?
If you don't want to smoke it, don't smoke it, but don't fucking throw it out the window.
Oh, dude, that made me so mad, Jamie. I was like, you stupid fucking cunt.
It is right up there with alcohol abuse.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, okay, let's do a couple... I just want to say, Jamie, look, I'm not a moron or retarded. I understand that this is not... it's like you said, this is all opinion. I like the original more. I think it's better. But this, I think, is technically better in certain ways. I think this would not have nearly been as good without the template of the original. That is why this is good.
Right.
I think they hit on every point and expanded on every point because they had 30 or 40 years to do it. Or 50, whatever, I don't know how long this was. But
yeah, right.
They had so many years. They really were able to develop this. I think they did an excellent job for what they were going for, what they had to do, and what they tried to do. Here's how I like to compare this movie to the original. It's like putting a new age bodybuilder up against Arnold Schwarzenegger from 1974. They're bigger, they're better proportioned, but you just can't beat the beauty or cultural significance of the original guy.
Great.
You can't top it. You can't top it.
Yep.
So that's the difference. Otherwise, technically, possibly better. I don't really know, and it doesn't matter. As long as you have fun with both, that's really what's important.
Yep.
So, if you want to do some comparisons, characters, we'll do quick who won. Characters, original or remake? Dan, who's better?
That's tough, man. But I gotta say, all right, well, you gotta kind of, can you even put Leatherface in there, though? Like, as a character?
Well, we can get to Leatherface afterwards.
You talk about the kids specifically?
Yeah, kids.
I liked this group of kids better because I hate Franklin. I can't fucking stand him. Now, I thought Jessica Biel was definitely, she was better to look at than Marilyn Burns and then the other chick with the nice butt. Nothing taken away from those nice booties.
No.
Character-wise, I liked this group of kids. I really did. I liked the boyfriend Kemper.
I liked him a lot.
Yeah, when they were talking about disposing of the body and, he wanted to, and I think we should, and then his girlfriend gave him that fucking look, which every guy knows, and he's like, all right, we're not getting rid of the body. Shit.
It means you ain't getting another blowjob till Christmas if we dump this body here.
That pisses me off.
Why? What?
Like, too much crazy shit has happened. Leave the fucking body and get the hell out of there.
I would too. You're right.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, I feel like they just, right at that point, it was like girls against guys, and I'm just like, don't make us out to be so...
Yeah, like you care that much. Like you're so sensitive about everything.
Right.
I mean, she's dead, okay? Dead. It doesn't matter. Nothing really, I understand, like, would you want somebody to throw you out like a piece of trash? Well, she's dead. Yeah, she's fucking
But
dead.
honestly, Jamie, you called the sheriff, they're on their way, you told them to meet you at the old mill or whatever it's called, just leave the fucking body there and go.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
He's gonna be there in a half hour, just fucking go.
Yep.
So yeah, you're right. Houses. This is an interesting one. The new one looks
You didn't
like
ask me about the character.
Well, you just kind of... I know what you're going to say anyway, so who cares? So, now... so, you got the houses. One looks like a huge fortress of doom, which is the new one. And the other one, honestly, it's not scary until you put it in that movie. Then that house becomes scary.
Right.
So that's interesting about that original house. Like, if you really, I would live there. I think a family would love to be in that house. But once you put it in this movie, it gives it another tone and it changes everything.
Right.
So what do you think of the houses? I'm gonna go with the remake. I think it's more iconic looking.
I like the new one, the way it was shot, but I gotta go with the original, man, because I look at it like, because it looks nice and pristine, and because of all that fucked up shit that goes on, like, in reality, that's probably how it would be, man. It's like, yeah, you're a psychopath, but your house doesn't reflect, and if it did, then you'd probably call bullshit. If it looked like a haunted house and, you know, the devil's rejects lived in there or something, you know, it would almost be too on point. So it's almost like, you know, you think of fucking BTK or somebody, you know, all these psychopaths, it's like, they just live in normal houses, man. You know, you can't tell that the psychopaths, they didn't know, you know, going up to the house, knocking on their door that they'd fucking try to eat them. So, yeah. I find that more scary. So I gotta go with the original. Jamie?
I go with the original as well, but I mean, I've already stated what I dislike about the new place, and
yeah, that's why I don't want to ask you anything. I'm just kidding.
Wow, have you ever had a co-host quit after 2 episodes?
Hey, now you know why we keep looking for new ones.
That's why we're not unchaining you, Jamie. We told you, you're stuck with it. Oh.
I'm impossible.
That's okay.
Jamie knows.
I love the fact that we don't agree. I think that's fantastic. You know, I mean, if you always agree about everything, then where's the fun in that? You know?
Yeah. And in case anybody thinks I'm being mean or hostile to Jamie, it's a joke, people.
Shut your fucking face, psychofucker. You're rubber-biting bastard.
Don't you believe it?
Yeah. Why is he such an asshole with her? It's a joke.
Yeah.
It's a joke. Okay. Yeah, so we got houses. Kills is basically all I could think of, and then Leatherface. So, Kills? I love the effectiveness of the original ones. I feel like the helplessness of the chick in the short shorts was incredible, just throwing her on the damn hook. The sawing up this guy's stomach, that's cool. I like bashing the guy in the head with a hammer. I think, and even the other kill, the tall, goofy guy, when he just comes down on him with his sledgehammer, dude, and he just collapses right to the ground. Like, you know, whenever I walk around sometimes, like this isn't for real, it's like a fantasy. Like, sometimes I'll walk around and I see people in front of me and they look like, you know, a bunch of rich yuppies and stuff. And sometimes I wonder, like if I had an axe with me and I just, like, buried it into the back of their neck.
You fucking sick fuck.
How they would, like, go down with the weight of the axe. Like, they would just go straight down.
Oh.
The axe would probably get, you know, stuck, lodged in the back of the neck. I'd have to step on their back and, like, pry it out.
Oh.
I am so turned on right now.
Me too.
I kind of feel like that kill really brought that to life. Like, I don't know if anybody knows, I hate dropping, like, that inside information, but, you know, with these movies, it's pretty important. Those things are good.
The real movies like this, too, yeah.
Yeah. They actually, when they did that to that dude, there was a guy behind him that pulled him down by his belt when Leatherface hit him with that hammer. And to give it the effect I just talked about that I think of when I'm behind people. So, yeah, that's cool. I think that was 100%. These kills, not too memorable for me.
Well, I think one though, Alex, and now it wasn't a Leatherface kill technically. It was more of an emotional thing when she found blonde dude in there up on the hook, and he's
oh yeah.
You know, I thought
ham-fisted though with the Jesus Christ reference. I mean, come on, he's beat me over for that with it.
Yeah. Well, what do you think of this though, guys? Like, why isn't he dead just from that being on that hook? Like, wouldn't that pierce your heart and lungs or something? Because I know chest wounds aren't fatal.
Oh,
or so I've heard. But
yeah, that's what some people say.
But definitely like a big hook into the back of your ribs, I think would probably pierce my lung, if I'm not mistaken. I'm not really like an anatomy major.
I don't know how that would work, dude. Yeah, I would assume, though, if it didn't kill you, it would be fucking very painful, and you'd probably want to die like that dude did. So, yeah, man, I don't know. Who fucking knows? If it misses your lungs and obviously your heart, and it doesn't fucking hit your spine, I would assume that you're good for maybe a little bit anyways. I don't know.
Well, Jamie, if you went in that watery, drippy basement, the damn basement, and you found Dan on a hook, would you kill Dan for him?
If he asked me to, sure.
Okay, now next question: would you blow me? Like a last request? Blow
Are you kidding me? You're in that. You are trapped there. What else would I do?
Exactly right.
I would.
Thank you, Jamie. See, I knew we had you as a co-host for something. See, I mean, you're gonna die, right? You might as well.
Yeah,
fucking...
you may as well get off one last time. Yeah, just don't hit me in the eye.
Can you imagine this asshole? Like, he's like, she's like, oh my god. Danny's like, Jamie, can you blow me real quick?
Jamie's like, what do you want me to do? Just blow me.
Well, and if that's his dying wish, then who am I to deny it?
Yeah, he'd be up there, Dan, you're dying. I guess a blowjob's out of the question. No, honey. How long would you say you have 2 minutes left? I can get you done in 2 minutes.
Concentrate. Who am I? Hugh Downs? Who's Hugh Downs? Never mind. Just blow me.
Yeah. Oh, that's from, isn't that from, Beer League?
Beer League.
Yeah. Okay, let's wrap this up. I think we've talked as long as this movie is.
Yeah, right?
And the last time we did that was our Sleepaway Camp retrospective. Check that out on thescoutsandcruise.com, horrorbit.com. Okay. And iTunes. Horrorphilia.
Horrorphilia, yes.
We're everywhere. And YouTube. YouTube.
Yep.
I have a Sleepaway Camp retrospective too.
Ooh.
Yeah, Jamie has one.
Check out Devour the Podcast and Evil Episode.
Yes. Okay, we're whoring ourselves out today. All right, let's just give our ratings. We got to get out of this movie. Like, we got to get out of this.
Okay.
All right. No, I'm sure people are like, all right. It wasn't that great. Let's get over it. No, okay, ratings. You guys go first. I want to steal your ideas because I'm not really sure. Go ahead. No, Jamie, I'd love to hear this first.
Yeah, go ahead.
5.
What?
That's generous.
5.
Wow. Oh, wow. I'm shocked. Okay. I'd give this an 8. I really enjoy this movie. Yeah, you heard it here first, baby.
Oh.
I give this a 8.5.
Oh,
just for that, you're not getting a blowjob.
Oh, it's my dying wish,
fucking
Jamie.
suffer. I don't.
The audience would hate you if you didn't let me fucking bust one out real quick.
Okay, well, for the audience.
Do it for the people, Jamie. If anybody, do it for the people.
Oh, please. Like, they care if this asshole gets a blowjob. All right.
They should.
I guess it's good for them.
So that's our ratings. That's our in-depth breakdown.
Yes.
I'm sorry. I'm getting senile here. Okay. We will be back with Texas Chainsaw Massacre, the prequel.
Did you rate it? Did I miss it?
No, I did. 8.5.
Oh, 8.5!
121 gigawatts!
121 gigawatts! There's no way they're done, man. That can't be done.
220, 221, whatever it takes.
Yeah. A bolt of lightning! A bolt of lightning! Okay. Let's get out of here. All right, we'll be back.
Shh. Don't cry. Don't cry. Why are you doing this? I never had me a little girl before.
You're gonna die.
See what you did, boy.
You started a whole whirlwind.
As long as we stick together, ain't nothing that we can't handle. It's all about the family. people may not know what we say here tonight. By God, they'll remember what we did.
Texas Chain Saw Massacre, The Beginning, 2006.
Yes.
This is a prequel to the remake. And like we said, there was no other way to go with this one. Now, as far as, can you give us some specs on this movie, Jamie?
Okay. Well, in the U.S., this film opened with 18,508,228 and ranked number 2 behind The Departed. Overall, in the U.S., the film had a final grossing of close to $40 million, and as of 2009, it has a worldwide gross of almost $52 million in U.S. dollars. However, it has maintained a 12% rotten rating on Rotten Tomatoes.
Oh,
wow.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Shit.
And an example of what someone said about it was, the beginning is full of blood and gore, but not enough scares or coherent story to make for a successful horror film.
Well, let's just make note real quick. The remake made $80 million. This made $40. So I just want to... So that just goes to show you that it doesn't matter how good a predecessor is. You know, I mean, normally you would think, well, hell, you know, just like anything, part 1 was great, so the next one's got to be, you know, it's got to be right up there. They're the same thing. But no, people don't line up in droves for that kind of factual thinking. So
right.
I think most people, the general consensus is that is not as good as the remake, although they like it. Now, Dan, do you have any cast for us here?
Yeah, man. Well, first off, it was directed by Jonathan Liebsman. He's, I think he's an Australian guy. It's starring Jordana Brewster. Beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
She plays Chrissy.
Mwah.
Taylor Hanley as Dean. Diora Bard as Bailey. Oh my God. And that's going to be a little, topical point in a few minutes here. And, Matt Bomer as Eric. And I believe, isn't that the dude that's on, that USA show? Anyway, sorry. Yeah, so.
That was the most random switch topic ever.
I know, I was trying. No, he's fucking on a big show. Sorry. And all right. And also, you bastard. Also starring Matt Bomer, who plays Eric, and Lee Tergesen as Holden. Lee Tergesen, something.
Tergesen, probably.
Tergesen, like detergent. And he plays Holden, and that's the biker dude.
Who was that? Oh, right, yeah. Who cares about him? What about, just get to the, get to Hoyt. What's his name again?
Oh, Arlie Ermy.
Arlie Emmy.
Ermy.
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 Arlie Ermy?
The letter R, the word Lee, and then Ermy.
Jesus Christ. And I thought Halle Berry was a weird name. So, this movie starts off with the birth of Leatherface. It happens while a girl's working. She can't even get off for a bathroom break. So Leatherface was dumped in a dumpster.
He's a prom night dumpster baby.
I love that bit.
This bitch finds him.
Yep.
And he's now like 30 in the next scene, I think. And he gets laid off from his job. Leatherface gets laid off. It's bring your Leatherface to work day.
Yay! Bring your chainsaw.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. So you know, the whole plot is that two brothers are going to Vietnam. One's been there before, and one doesn't want to go. And they both happen to be banging perfect 10 models.
Woo-wee.
So right there, the story is flawed, because you don't leave pieces of ass like that alone when they're willing to accept your penis on a weekly or nightly basis.
That's why the one kid doesn't want to leave.
Yeah, I mean, if you had a piece of ass like that, would you be running around shooting people? Dude, I'd be at home.
Nope. Yep.
Every night.
Yep.
I'm sorry. Yep. I would definitely. So anyway, we start off with Leatherface's, I guess, first kill ever. Oddly, see, here's the thing that was interesting about the first kill. Did this catch you guys by surprise? Because when he first gets laid off and the guy has to go tell him, even though he was supposedly already told, he says, dude, get lost, man. We're closing up. We don't need you here no more. Come on, get out of here. He walks up to the guy with like a weapon of some kind, and he it's so intimidating, and you're like, oh shit. It's exactly what the audience is probably doing exactly what the director wanted us to do. And then he just drops the weapon on the floor, and it's like, wow, I didn't expect that. Okay.
Yeah.
So then that's why I really didn't expect him to kill his boss, because if he didn't kill that guy,
right?
Why would he kill the boss? I don't know.
And that was the only real like passion kill from Leatherface, was killing his boss there. Everything after was preempted by Hoyt, preempted by something. You know what I mean? Like it was almost like Leatherface just happened to be there. He was almost a victim of circumstance. And that's what I meant by, I wasn't trying to be degrading last time when I said, he's got no chance, he's a retard. What I mean is, he really doesn't have a chance starting off because he's mentally retarded. And then he's got this fucked up family, basically making him kill. I mean, I don't want to fast forward too much, but literally they're telling him to kill. They're telling him what to do.
Retard, you have no choice.
You ain't got no choice, you fucking retard. But, so I just look at it like, that first kill was pretty much the only passion kill from Leatherface. Everything else was just coincidental.
Well, I'll make this note. Jamie found it very touching or something that Leatherface kept typing in food when he saw the clown, and what she got out of that, which I think is what we're all supposed to get. It was accurate that he does not know, he has no clue that what he's doing is not normal.
Right.
Now, so you completely changed his character. Even though that's the third movie, it's arguable if that's really, what's going on here. But, it was one of the movies. So for this movie, he was not, like, hungry or something. He killed that guy because he was mad. And because he was fired and all that type of stuff. I don't think that kill had anything to do with thinking that that's what you should do because that's what you get, how you get food.
No, and see, but that's the whole plot line to that movie, dude. See, that's why. Because it wasn't just him getting fired. The whole plant was shutting down. There was no work. Everybody in that town has moved on. There's basically nothing there for anybody. And that's basically the whole point of why they stayed. He says, we're not going anywhere. We're staying right here. And then that's when he started eating people. It's almost like, all right, basically talking to the outside world. You want to fuck us over like this? All right, well then we're going to fucking eat anybody that comes around here.
Well, you know what? Here's what I'm going to get at. I think that's a what the F moment.
The reason? Yeah.
The reason. Oh, come on.
Yeah, I agree.
Okay, so without fast forwarding, we'll touch on everything, but just real quick, Hoyt comes home. He explained he's the new law in town, so there's no inkling of anything about this cannibalism going on. He says, he starts giving this speech like he's freaking, and that's one funny thing. He's at the dinner table. He's having this big speech like about being in power and how they're going to run shit. It's presented and filmed, and he's doing it as if it's like Hitler talking to thousands of Nazis. He's like one guy, one asshole who would look like a gas station attendant talking to some lazy bitch waste of life and some depressed ass hair who's about to get his legs cut off. Like, it was a little melodramatic, like how they had him giving the whole speech to two losers at a dinner table. I'm sorry, that was just weird. That's one what the F moment to me. Here's the other one, what we're talking about, cannibalism. So as he's doing that, he goes, just like our buddy Sheriff Hoyt here, and he pulls up a stew of the guy.
Go hungry again.
Yeah. Now, I'm sorry. They co-signed this a little too easily, and they're just on board, really. Like, there's nothing, like, she didn't go, what the fuck? Instead, she looked at him weird, but then she implies afterwards that she did that because, aren't you going to say grace before we eat?
Yeah, right? Yeah.
Like, come on. That's your... But here, I know what you're going to say. That was their way to start eating people, but then they try to, like, compensate by saying, he used to eat people when he was in Nam. They're going to try to, like, cover for the lack of creativeness by saying, well, he did it back then, so it's kind of normal that this is why we're doing it now.
Right. Yeah, I think it kind of tried to, I don't know, in my opinion, tried to show, but see, this is what I don't get. I know they were trying to get to this, but I didn't buy it. Basically what? They were psychos their whole life and they were, push psychos far enough and, take away all their amenities, food, et cetera, et cetera. And then, you push them to a certain place and that's where they go. They fucking eat you. And not only, like you just said, a lot of them aren't even killers. They're just co-signers. So co-signers almost worse because you're just sitting back. So that's almost to imply that these people are fucking psychos their whole life and then, all of a sudden, they're just gonna go with the flow. I don't buy that for a second. If they were psychos before and they were doing sketchy shit before and it maybe not, exactly eating people, but, doing some fucked up shit, then it would make it more, easy to believe. But I just feel like you just said, he's like, thanks to the sheriff here, and it looked like they gave it a thought for like a split second. They were like, all right, yeah, I'm down with that. Yeah. Let me get the right arm.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Do you have a thigh here? No, like the thing that bugs me about it is that they really established the fact that there was nothing that crazy going on here.
Right.
Even to the point where Leatherface was not threatening. He didn't do anything wrong until he killed his boss. So much to the point where there was still law in town. And when he finally did kill his boss, right away he was on that like stink on shit. He had to, okay, this happened. We can't let this slide. He has to go to jail. We gotta lock him up. And right away Hoyt kills him. So like right away it's established that this is all just starting. So there's no indication that they're anything but a bunch of dirtbags. Now, how you make the leap to cannibals because you shot a sheriff is beyond me. I think it's retarded. You could say whatever you want about Vietnam, and the fact that the whole family is suddenly okay with eating people just because you ate people in Nam anyway still makes no sense.
Yep. Yeah, it really doesn't, dude.
I mean, they didn't even tenderize that bitch, dude.
The original... And in all the ones after that, this is a lifestyle. This is something that has been in place for ages.
Yes.
And I just don't buy the just picking it up all of a sudden, and everybody all at once, that it doesn't make any sense. It's not, it just doesn't gel.
Do you guys even give them credit for even trying to explain something like that? No, I agree with you guys, but we talk about the continuity or the lack thereof or, the dismissal of it. At least these fucking people went in trying. And another thing, how, we said, they found Leatherface and, he was a prom night dumpster baby and all that. But I did like how that was a very small part of the movie. Just how she found him. And then it flashed forward literally to the first time shit really went down, as opposed to, a Michael Myers sitting in a room.
Oh,
fucking,
God.
But do you know what I mean? Like, I feel like, if anything, give them points for fucking trying on this. Give them a little something. Give them...
A boo. I will give them that.
Hey, I'd rather have something like this than just a fucking, we're gonna switch up the story just because we want to. At least they tried to explain why they're cannibals. Now, I find it more effective if, the craziest
Don't call
people...
that trying.
Yeah, Dan, they just did it. I didn't think they tried very
well.
hard.
They paid attention to the other ones at least enough to address it, though, right? I mean, as opposed to fucking the other ones, like we said before, where the fourth one even. Look at that. It's like they didn't even try with that one. This is what I'm saying.
They were eating pizza.
Right, I know. I'm just saying, but you know what I mean, though. At least they're trying to fucking at least make up a story. Now, do I think it's right? No, I don't want you guys to think that I'm fucking trying to battle you here. I think psychos fucking should, just be psychos. Like, don't give them a fucking reason.
I give them credit for trying without going too deep into it. I agree with that.
That's it. That's all I was giving them. That's it.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. I agree with that. That's fine. But as I think we're all calling bullshit. I think we're all calling what the F.
Yeah.
We're all calling what the F on that.
Big time, dude. Big time.
Here's one thing I thought was interesting. As we talked about Sheriff Hoyt becoming Hoyt, they showed how that happened. And am I wrong, or right before he killed that guy, the sheriff?
That's the pussy guy from Devil's Rejects.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Right. Did he not touch on that he would be okay with fucking a horse right before he died? Didn't he say something like, they screw the horses? Not that I'm opposed to that, Mark.
Yeah, it was something. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so. Yeah.
That's great. That's like a cool little nonchalant conversation.
It's almost like something out of a Rob Zombie flick. That sounds like a Halloween 2 conversation.
It really does. Yeah. Like the two guys, the paramedics driving, and they're talking about banging dead people.
Oh God.
Yeah. Dead girls. Yeah.
That's a what the fuck moment, I think. There's a couple of those in this movie, but yeah, we'll get.
Yeah. Well, that's like more like the fuck.
Yeah. Exactly.
I thought this was so. We talked about tense moments, and I want to hear Jamie's thoughts on this one because I'm very curious. Jamie, you're driving a Jeep. You got your friends in it. A biker gang rolls up on you, and they start smashing your car with chains and pipes or whatever. What do you do? Do you just keep driving and say, hey, stop, hey, stop it?
Would you please, guys, please?
Yeah. I just painted that. I can honestly say I would kill them. I would probably swerve my car and hit their bikes.
Yeah, I mean, I would definitely try to do that just to get them off me. I would definitely love to do something nasty to them like it.
For me, guys, didn't the biker thing just kind of, for me, it took away the whole aspect of the desolate Texas thing. Cause, I mean, in the first one too, Texas was almost the fucking character too. It was like, like Jamie said in the first one there, that first shot of the sun, and they really try and put forth, you're in the middle of nowhere in Texas and you run into these hicks, and just with the whole biker gang, maybe if it was like 5 or 6, but there were like 20 of those motherfuckers and they rolled up like a gang. You're trying to tell me that, like a 20-person fucking gang who robs people and shit like that doesn't realize that this shit's going down right down the street or whatever, and they're not gonna. Well, I guess at that point it hadn't really gone on yet, but it just takes me out of the whole fucking. Hey, you're stuck in the middle of nowhere with these psychopaths. Oh yeah, by the way, there's a fucking biker gang and the fucking dude from Oz.
The fact that these bikers were in something that's like, there's nothing. Who you're gonna rob? Like, there's nothing going on, and that's your only means of survival? It doesn't even make sense. Well, actually, the biker chick tried to rob him, remember? And that's how they popped the cow wide open, flipped the Jeep, and then the sheriff came. Dude, when Hoyt shot this bitch, and she went flying back into the Jeep, that was the best.
Badass, dude. Loved that scene. Loved it. Yep. That whole scene after too, I liked how the whole scene, how it ended up Jordana Brewster kind of on the side and guys telling her no, don't come out. I mean, stuff like that. It's little stuff like that kind of gets lost in the mix with these kind of movies. But to me, that's good direction. That's good plot. I really cared about these kids. That's another thing. You talk about these characters. These two brothers totally bought these guys as brothers, and you could tell there was a cohesiveness to it. And it was just, you could really feel for them. The girls, Jordana Brewster, and then that guy, Eric there. Them as a couple, I thought they were one of the best couples, they were just, you could really feel it. The other two, they were just kind of, they were boyfriend and girlfriend, but you could tell them.
He had too much on his mind to really even find a really thing. But, but Jamie, he just talked about the directing and all that stuff. What do you think of this compared to the remake? Do you think it's too polished? Do you think the directing sucks again? Like, what do you think about this one?
I don't like it.
You don't like this either?
Now, do you think it's a step up from the other one, Jamie?
No, not at all.
Okay.
There are things I do like. I like finding out how Uncle Monty lost his legs. I think
which is a what the fuck moment, but we'll get.
Yeah, it totally is. But I think it's interesting. I like finding out how he became sheriff because I really have a hard time buying that anyone would vote him in.
Yeah, right.
There are things like that are kind of cool, but for the most part. I don't know. It's a little bit too convenient, for me that he was born in the slaughterhouse that then later changed his life and, just waiting this late to get started thing. And I don't buy it. I mean, this shit is, and timeline wise, this was 4 years ahead of the remake. And go down into that basement. It takes longer than 4 years
to fill up.
It takes longer than 4 years to have all those cars. I mean, I don't know. It just is it's so ridiculous to me.
I never thought of that. Good point.
Yeah, you really looked into a lot of things I never thought about.
I didn't think of that at all. Yeah. No, really, because, I mean, 4 years, you're right, though. That was a lot of fucking cars, and yeah, it doesn't, it doesn't make sense.
Yeah, I guess not. Even when I taught the what the F moment from part 1, if you think about that, when the guy pulls that jar of water out and the girl's picture's in it, doesn't that just kind of seem kind of like time stamped, like it happened so long ago? Like, would that girl still be running around the road trying to get away and just escape these guys? Like, doesn't that look like that would have been there for like 5 years or 7 years or something? Like, why is something like that? Like, what kind of girl travels around in a car with a jar of water with her picture in it? Like, I don't even understand. Like, I don't get any of that. Like, some of the time stamping here just makes no sense. I guess that's true.
Yeah.
And and one other lack of continuity I found really strange was the girl in this one makes a comment about, like we just said, that biker chick who got shot by Hoyt, and she said, is it normal protocol to have a dead biker chick riding shotgun? And Hoyt says, if it was your mom, would you want to stick her in the trunk?
Yeah.
And yet in part 1, they go to put the dead hitchhiker in the back seat, and he goes, stick that disgusting piece of shit in the trunk, asshole. So he's saying you wouldn't put her in the trunk, and in part 1 he's saying put her in the trunk. I don't want her in my car. So
right.
It's like the weirdest. Why would you make a scene like that when he establishes that he quite clearly does not want this dead piece of shit in his truck, in the back of his seat?
I hadn't lost as much humanity at that point. Like, maybe that's what they're trying to say. I don't know. Don't buy it, but I'm just saying that.
Yeah, I was thinking that too. Actually, as I was saying, I was thinking the same thing. Like, maybe it's us. Maybe it's character development. Like, the first time, yeah, right. The first time he kills someone, he still has something, and then by the 4th year, that's out the window. But this movie, unfortunately, we're back into the never-ending vortex of Texas Chainsaw Massacre approaches and formats. Again, we have Leatherface wearing the chick's boyfriend's face. Like, I'm sorry. It just loses its punch after they already did that in the remake. Like, come on, guys. Stop borrowing ideas from
That's his bit, I guess. That's his thing.
Oh, come on. Stop borrowing from past movies. Let's progress. Let's see some writer development here. Another dinner table scene. Another jump through a window. Come on. Like, I'm sorry. I feel like, although, when you watch them individually, listen, it's not as monotonous as I make it sound when we're blasting through these reviews. It ain't like it just keeps it doesn't happen as I'm saying it. Like, you don't feel that way as you're watching it. But looking back on them all and doing a retrospective of all of them, come on. How many times?
Yeah, and in behind the scenes, Alex, that's what the guys said. They were like, we heard a lot of backlash about people saying there was no dinner scene in the original, so we had to put one in here. I feel like it's a bunch of different ideas people have, and a lot want to make it like the original and stuff like that. But I agree, man, you just can't fucking do it, especially because they've done it 20 times over or 4 times over or whatever, so it's like enough is enough. It's like, but you can see what they were going for, that, try and give what the fans want. But at that point, fuck the fans, man. Write what you want, because if you listen to every little fucking thing the fans say, it's gonna all join together as one big convoluted fucking mess. And I think that's what a lot of this movie was. Now, I do enjoy this movie on a lot of different levels, but yeah, man, I realize all this shit. It's just,
as you were saying that, another scene just went through my head.
Okay.
Oh, God.
What's that?
They've copied the same damn thing from the remake. Jessica Biel tries to lift the guy off the hook and he falls back on it. And in this one, the guy's on the hook and he tries to pull himself off and falls back on it.
Yeah.
How many times, guys? Come on. What the fuck is it with you people?
Mm-hmm.
Can you write a new movie? I listen, I'm sorry. I don't think that just because you have to make a movie about a guy who kills people with chainsaws, that it means it has to be the same thing.
Right.
You could give me $1 million so I don't have to work, and give me time to write. I could write you 4 movies right now about a guy killing people with a chainsaw, and I promise you that you will not see the same movie 4 times and
Grandpa?
the same. I'll put him in one of them. You will not see the same damn borrowed ideas every time I write a movie. That is ridiculous.
Yep.
And I feel bad about saying that because I really like these 2, the new ones. I do.
Yeah.
But if I just feel I'm having a nervous break. I gotta get out of here. No, but do you guys agree? I mean, am I nuts? Like, what is it with this? Every movie is the same.
Yeah. It gets to a certain point where it's like, don't even call it the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, you know?
Well, dude, I'm okay. I like them both. The only problem I've ever expressed through this, most of the retrospective, except for like the part 2 stuff, the only problem I have with 3, 4, and this one is that it's just rehash shit from the same exact franchise, and I think that's ridiculous. Even if you stole from the major guys, even if you went obscure and stole from Prowler, and you stole from this, or you stole from freaking Psycho here once in a while, or whatever the case, that's fine. But I just think that you could dig a little deeper than your own movie sources. I just think that's ridiculous. I agree. Other than that, I think this movie's just fine. I think there's nothing wrong with it. It's a very fun thing to watch. I think it's awesome when the dude shoots the old guy's leg. So they decide whether do we go to the hospital or bandage it up, or do we just cut it off? That's more logical. Because I don't know. To me, I think cutting it off is worse than having a bullet in it. And I think you have a far less chance of healing that way than you would if you just wrapped up the bullet. But okay.
Well, what's even more logical than that, though? What's cut off the other one? Even them out.
Yeah, that is insane.
No sense, dude. Come on, that is one of the biggest what the fuck moments of the whole series, dude. I'm sorry, man. Like what the fuck?
I think that's just to say this guy is totally off his rocker.
Yeah, but still, like, what the flying fuck?
I know.
Like, yeah, that's crazy, dude. Like, that, I mean, I'm sorry, man. That's just nuts to me.
But when I saw that in the theater, dude, I was like, what? I thought that was insane.
It is.
But anyway, so it ends off. We find out why he has no teeth. Someone bashes Hoyt's face into the floor 100 times. I mean, I'm sorry. They just started killing people. I think if somebody did that to me, I was his age, in my 60s, I think that would probably deter me from continuing with that kind of lifestyle. I'd probably say, you know what, I'm too old for this shit. I can't hang with the I think the victims will eventually get to me, and I don't think I should continue on with this. But so anyway, as the movie wraps up, you got a couple kills. This chick's the hot blonde's driving away. Leatherface pulls her out of the car with a hook. That was awesome. I thought that nobody expected that, even though the door kept swinging open. I don't think anybody thought anybody was that good of a shot with the hook.
Well, dude, but they didn't plan on the door swinging open like that, you know. That was just kind of a mistake when they filmed that, you know. It just happened to swing open right then, and that's when he got her. Dude, I love that kill. That's one of my favorite ones. And honestly, dude, that's why, guys, I really love this fucking movie. It's got 2 of my favorite kills of all time. And, well, I'm sorry, you know, 2 of my favorite kills of all time. This third one definitely being a notable addition because of the surprise. It's just like, oh shit, he actually got her. Like, I thought she was fucking gone. I thought she really did get away. And she was close, and then boom, you're done, you know?
Yeah. Is there anything you liked about the movie, Jamie?
Yeah, I mean, well, I said, you know, I thought it was kind of fun to learn how Hoyt became sheriff and all that. And then I think the Uncle Monty leg scene was just so ridiculous that you know, it was funny because it was ridiculous.
What about the end there with when he fucking puts the chainsaw through Dean and then fucking lifts him up? That's one of the best kills ever.
Yeah, that was good.
Yeah, I mean, the kills themselves are not bad. Like, I like the hook scene.
Yep.
There definitely was not a lack of gore or carnage, I guess. So that was kind of fun. It's just I didn't really feel like there was anything else to it. Like, I didn't have anything invested in these characters. Like, I know you said you really cared about the kids. I didn't have anything invested in them. I don't know, the thing about these movies and the tone of these films and the way they look, I guess what bothers me about it is that I really don't feel like there's anything remarkable about them. I mean, they just kind of, like, you see it, because I saw this when it came out, and then it just sort of faded into memory. Like, I just didn't care. But, I mean, who's going to forget Nomland, you know?
Nomland.
You know, you don't. And I guess maybe that's why it bothers me so much. I just feel like they sort of fell flat and just not move. They just don't move me. What can I say?
Yeah.
Well, the final kill, it's the classic, it's a very rare formula. It's been going on more often in the new age of horror, I would say, in the 2000s. Well, I guess now the 2000s are like another decade ago. Now we're in the 2010 era, I guess.
Fuck, we're old.
But 2000s started up pretty much where there were no survivors, and this is one of them. I mean, it's kind of it was kind of foreshadowed by the dude with no legs who's saying, "Get her, she's gonna tell everybody what we've been doing," or the mom, the wife said that, and then so you knew that nobody was getting away because otherwise everybody would have known what's going on, and we know that they don't.
Well, I'm calling bullshit in that scene though. When that last kill happens though, Alex. I mean.
Yeah, how did he get back there, right?
Well, first of all, how did he know what car to go in, first of all, A? And then B, I think, wouldn't you see a fucking big hunky fucking Leatherface in the back seat? I mean, I know shit's crazy, you're jumping into the car or whatever, but, dude, you would notice that big fucking bastard in the back seat, crouching or not.
Yeah, that was,
you know?
I think that was just for movie effect.
Yeah, oh, absolutely. I just call him bullshit there. No, I absolutely agree. I just thought, and it played out that it was fucking badass. Like, I love that kill at the end. And, the way I didn't think that was gonna happen though, to be perfectly honest with you. I had a feeling that she would die, but I did not know that they were gonna fucking put a chainsaw right through the back of the fucking seat and just grind the shit out of her. And you know what? That to me was very fucking shocking. And you know what? There were shocking moments in the original. Nothing really shocking throughout the whole series, dude. And I must admit, nothing really shocked me up until that last kill. I thought that was fucking shocking. To kill off Jordana Brewster, who's your main lead actress, especially guys, after the way the remake ended, with Jessica Biel getting away with the baby, and like I said, almost fucking, too good. And then for this just to take the total opposite route and just say, fuck you, and then ram right into the cop too, and it was just such a fucking awesome ending. And that to me was just like, I walked out of the theater like, yes, like I was fucking sold. And listen, I'm not saying these are the greatest movies ever, no. But if we're looking at the Texas Chainsaw series overall, these are definitely, in my opinion, two of the bigger highlights in the whole series.
Mm-hmm. Well, how do you rate this? Jamie, are you going to give it a more than a 5?
No more than a 5. It gets a 4, and that's being generous, because I originally was going to give it a 3. But then I was like, well, okay. Most of that's for Arlie or me, though. As cool as the idea was, like the last kill, and I really do like the fact that she got killed, because I really enjoy downer endings. I love to see things go to hell. And so that was cool. I just felt like there are so many things wrong with that. I guess it looked good on paper, but there are really a lot of problems with setting up that thing. I mean, realistically, I mean, like you said, he's a big fucking guy. I mean, he's got this huge chainsaw. How do you not see that? Or it just isn't. And then where does he get the room? I mean, is there...
Yeah, right.
Doesn't it seem there's not... I don't know. It just doesn't make any sense to me. But anyway, that's it for me. It's a 4.
What do you think, Alex?
I don't know. I gave the last one 8.5, right? The remake.
Yep.
So I give this a 7.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd say 7 too, Alex. Definitely. Yep, it's a solid 7.
Yeah, that's a good movie. It's something I'd watch again.
The beast in me
So do you know anything about this place?
Just the address.
is caged by frail and fragile bars.
Wow.
Restless by day and by night, rants and rages.
Look like Granny likes to play a little pool.
What?
exactly did Granny do for a living?
I have no idea. I just learned about her yesterday.
Beast in me. God help the beast in me.
Texas Chainsaw 3D, 2013. All right, this movie just came out this weekend on the 4th of January, and the budget was $20 million. And for everybody who's really into this movie, there is some good news. The movie has already made $10.5 million on its opening day.
Holy shit.
Yeah, it actually topped out Django and what was the other carryover from last week? The Hobbit, yeah. So there you go. So guys, congratulations for that. I think it'll make budget. So basically, I think it's now official. There are no tits in this entire franchise. There are no nude scenes, and I don't really recall any sex scenes.
There's the side boob in here. Side boob.
There's a front shot where where Heather is.
Oh
yeah,
and her shirt's open.
Yeah,
and
boob.
Oh my god, I was just like the whole time. I can't take my. First of all, she is gorgeous. I cannot take my eyes off her through the entire thing. I'm staring at that shirt. I'm like, open, I want to see.
Friend ain't bad either.
Because she was just.
Oh,
the shirt didn't open, and you know who she looks like?
I mean, it was a tease. Tiffany Amber Thiessen.
Oh, I already said that?
No, that's what I said.
Oh.
That's who I think she looks like. Is that who you think she looks like?
Yes.
I love how the first thing we go into are tits. We're not even talking about the movie yet.
We're 7 movies in, and it's apparent that this is the only horror major franchise with no tits, no T in it.
Yeah, you're right.
I dig that. I totally respect that.
Yeah, it's not necessary. It's all good.
Yeah, it was necessary. Yeah.
It's kind of necessary, especially in 3D. But all right.
Well, go back to my Bloody Valentine again.
Yeah. But what I noticed about this, okay, now this is like huge news all over like the internet, Facebook. People, the reviews are pouring in. What I've realized is people are really passionate about defending this movie if they like it. Like I've never seen anything like it. Like the people who love this movie really feel like a close connection with it, and people who don't like it don't hate it, but they just think it's bland, falls flat. Like I think it's really obvious that this is the movie. Like this movie is geared for people who love the original Texas Chainsaw Massacre and Leatherface as like the way people love Jason and Michael and all that. I mean, like, this was written to make you feel closer to this character. Even looking back and thinking about the movie, like, picture the movie in your head right now and him living in the basement well, you know what? Let's give a little bit of a non-spoiler review for the first few minutes, just overall thoughts, and then we'll get into all that other stuff. So that people who haven't seen it. It's really supposed to make you feel like very close and like a coziness there, like a nice little thing going on where he lives and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, this movie is less about Leatherface's crazy family and all. This is the Leatherface show right here.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
So the intro, basically, because everybody should know about this, it combines the original Texas Chainsaw, and then it takes place the second after it, after the ending of the original.
I loved the use of the original footage in the beginning of this film.
You kidding me?
I loved it after.
What?
I think by the time Leatherface killed the dude, remember that thing we were talking about, how the sledgehammer came down, and I talked about burying the axes and people, that kill? You know that one?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, at that point, I kind of felt like the use of the first movie took away from the actual first movie, because it almost made the movie look too like the movie's so much more than just a body count. And after they kept showing, kill,
Right.
it kind of cheapened the first movie at that point. But then it got great again. The way they edited and cut the whole parts of Sally at the dinner table and getting smashed in the head with the hammer, like the music and the edits were freaking amazing.
Yeah, it was a beautiful montage, I thought, of it was like a Cliff Notes version of the original. I don't feel like it cheapened it at all. I mean, for one, I don't think you can. I think that the original will maintain its status regardless of anything that comes after. You can't taint it. It is what it is, and it's a classic for a reason.
It just felt substanceless, when you're looking at it that way. Like there's so much.
No, dude.
I don't, because especially since I just freshly watched this movie for the show. It was comforting. It was like going home. To me, it was like easing into a warm bath versus diving into a cold pool.
Oh, but I love that refreshing cold pool, though.
We're forgetting the most important fucking thing here about that beginning sequence. Now, this depends on a very particular thing. Now, did you guys see it in 3D? Because we got to see Marilyn Burns' ass in 3D. We got to see Franklin die in 3D. Like, that was fucking awesome, dude. I wasn't sold on the 3D at first, but are you kidding me, dude? That ass popping out at the screen, dude. I was fucking, I almost stood up and the movie just started. I was like, fuck yeah, this is awesome.
That was nice, but it wasn't. It was the other actress. But yeah. But the thing is, dude, I don't know, man. The 3D didn't jump out at me as much in that whole opening scene. Did it really work for you? Because I didn't feel like it came off the screen.
It was. I thought it was Marilyn Burns walking up to the house in those red shorts, those booty shorts.
No, that's
Sorry,
the other
chick. It's the other chick then. Walking up with that ass in 3D. I was sold from that fucking scene alone.
They recreated that.
Yeah, right. Oh, yeah, exactly.
The blonde in this movie, they recreated that walking scene in her short shorts. And okay, let's start right off the bat. Who did it better? And let's not get nostalgic here. Let's be serious. Who did it better?
I think the original was better, honestly. For one, I didn't like this chick. There's something about her that bugged me. I think it was her hair. I don't know. Something didn't do it for me. I didn't really care. So I definitely think the original was better.
Damn.
Oh man, this one, she's fucking smoking.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, buddy. Yo.
All right, I was paying all my attention to Heather because Daddario is gorgeous.
Yeah, she is. My girlfriend, much like Jamie, had a problem with the blonde. She said that she called what she has man tits or something, like when a girl's tits are very it just looks like a guy put implants in, kind of, I guess.
Oh, yeah, I know what you're...
Yeah, that's what she said she has, but that didn't seem to bother me. I'm going to go with... I think that this new girl is dope. I think she's really hot.
Smoking.
So, I'm going to go with the new one, but thank you for the original, because that was hot, too. I'll take either one of you. I'll take both of you at once.
Oh, yeah.
Honestly.
Yep.
So let's get into... Okay, and here's another observation my girlfriend made. As they blended these two movies, she's not very big on horror or the original, although she does want to see it again. She actually asked me, by the time Bill Moseley went back in the house and was talking to the people in the house, she said, "Babe, is this still the first movie?"
Oh, shit, really?
So that's good.
Yeah.
I guess that's,
Fairly, it was seamless enough, is what that...
Yeah. Okay, so what do you guys think of Bill Moseley as Drayton Sawyer?
I wish there was more of it. I don't, to me it was too little Bill Moseley, but I always loved him.
Yo, what the fuck happened? Like, I thought he was going to be in the movie. He was in the first fucking 5 minutes, and then that's it.
Gunnar Hansen.
That really threw me off. I knew he had a cameo, and I thought it was good placement with those, two characters. I thought it was great. But I honestly didn't know the movie was going to go that route. Like you said, it's definitely about family. It's just a different angle, really, if you think about it. It's with him and his cousin, obviously, as opposed to the crazy family. They didn't have a fucking drop of that.
When I realized Bill was not going to be in this more than 5 minutes, I was like crazy disappointed. But then once I realized it, I just said, okay, come on, you saw the commercials. He really, that's what it's going to be. Let's just go with it. And I accepted it. As soon as it was over, I was like, oh, that's a shame, but okay. Right. But I just want to make these few points about Drayton Sawyer as a whole. I thought the cutaway when they were hitting the Marilyn Burns and they have the hammer, and then they cut to like Bill Moseley pretending he was Drayton Sawyer, like as if he was in that movie. I thought that was odd. I don't think that looked right. It was really weird to me. But I think the thing is, Drayton Sawyer was a little out of character. Like the original character was more like sly and smooth and conniving. Like when Bill Moseley's like he was protecting his family. Like I feel like the real Drayton Sawyer would have been like, hey, you didn't do nothing. Get out of here. You're always bothering. You guys think,
Yes.
I just don't think he would have done that.
You actually did that very well.
That was good.
That was really good.
Yeah, right? That was good. But yeah, I know what you're saying, dude. He did act a little different. But I definitely noticed that, but it really didn't, bother me much. I know what you're saying, though. I
got over it quickly.
Right.
Something just kept, no matter what, I just kept being drawn back in.
Right.
I was willing to accept a lot of things for this movie, like the completely ambiguous time frame.
Oh, God, that's bad.
And I'm like, it just doesn't really make any sense. If she was a baby in 1974 and they used the original footage, so, there you go. It's authentic 1974 or 1973. Right. So that would mean she was my age. Well, she's definitely not my age.
Well, she's like 40. I don't. Yeah, right.
40.
Just older.
I was gonna say, did they date this movie? In the present time when the kids go there. But I know there's a scene where the cop goes in and is using an iPhone and there's
he's FaceTiming, dude.
Exactly. So yeah, you're right. don't.
Present day, but they, notice like on the tombstone they obscure the year that her mother died and whatever.
Yeah, no sense.
Yeah, it's that, but still, I was like, okay. I do have to say though, and this kind of, I don't think you guys are going to have the same problem I did. It doesn't sound like it, but I was really excited that Nicotero and Berger were doing the effects for this.
I had no idea.
I mean, I didn't either, but then when I saw the names on the screen, I was like, oh, fucking solid,
Yeah.
I was thrilled. But I really didn't like Leatherface. I really didn't.
You didn't like Leatherface, you said?
No.
Huh.
I mean, well, Leatherface is tall, but then the first thing I think of when I think of Leatherface is how broad he is. I mean, he's just intimidating and menacingly huge. He's a big guy. And this guy is, sort of like a medium build. I mean, he's tall, but I just don't feel like he's imposing.
Well, Jay, you got to remember, here's what you really got to put into consideration. How old would you say he was in 1974? 30, maybe?
I'd probably say 30.
Okay, so he's like, well, according to their timeline, he's approaching 60. So, he lost some weight. And here's what I was thinking about it. He didn't act like a retard that much in this movie, and I'm thinking, like, I don't know, does anybody know any older retards? Like, do they stop fidgeting around?
No.
More?
No.
No? They don't? Okay.
They said, though, he had the mind of an 8-year-old in the movie itself, in this one. Now, that's not to take that as gospel or anything, but, yo, he was crossing those motherfuckers out. He knew exactly what he was doing. He was going after those guys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The whole character was different. He was much more silent. There was a little grunting here and there. But I thought he was big enough, though. I know what you're saying, Jamie. It's a different guy.
But he's older, though. Let's just take that into it, that he's older, and he...
Then what I'm saying is that this version of him is not imposing to me. I didn't feel intimidated by him. Without the chainsaw, I wouldn't have found him scary. Now, the original, I mean, Leatherface, in most other versions, he's just scary on his own. The chainsaw is just, I don't know, icing. But this guy, I don't know, I just didn't think he was scary. But that's me, But I don't know, were you guys not disappointed in the face?
I was disappointed in his mask. I think I'm going to disagree that he wasn't. I think he was very imposing and very scary, size-wise and all that kind of stuff. But I'm going to say I didn't like the mask.
Really?
I really thought, yeah, dude, I feel, you know what it is?
I loved it.
It was more like, okay, no, it was more like a Hollywood prop than it.
Yeah, well.
We talked about the original mask versus part 2, how the original was like truly looked like a shitty piece of human skin that he just kind of did it in his basement, with shitty rusty tools and stuff, and just kind of did it. The one in this movie, it looked like it was made by some great studio, whatever, and let's add twists here and darkness here and this there. It didn't look like a real, I don't think that's how it would look if someone really did this.
Let me ask you a question, Alex, though. Let me ask you guys both a question. Did you think when he started stitching the mask to his face, within his cheek, what did you guys think of that scene? I know it has nothing to do with the look of the mask, but I love it.
I thought it was completely gratuitous and ridiculous. I mean,
really?
He's never done that before, and why would you do it? That doesn't make any sense.
Keep it on. Keep that. How else would you keep your skin on?
He's never done that before, and the fact that they did it is really only because they wanted to show people what it would look like if someone sewed through their own cheek. I mean, that was just purely in there for their own benefit.
How would you keep a human skin face on? I don't understand. I mean, I guess maybe
always
strap it on.
We've seen him do it. He pulls it over his head or whatever. It's all stitched.
I don't know, dude.
That just showed.
I've never worn a skin mask personally, so I don't have any experience with that. But if I ever do, I'll let you know. But I don't think I'll be sewing it to my cheek.
Yeah. I mean, I guess I never thought about it. I think, Dan, what that was it was just more, it was more personal insight to Leatherface. This movie is really to make lovers of him love him even more. That's all this is. And every aspect, everything you're talking about, that's what they're doing. They're just saying, wow, look, we're getting an inside look at our buddy Leatherface. That's all that is.
Well, I do agree that it makes you love him. I mean, he becomes an extremely sympathetic character.
He's the hero at the end.
And one that you fall in love with him by the end. You are rooting for him. And much like the Devil's Rejects. And I love when you can make me do that. If the director can make me love the bad guy, then that's pretty fucking badass.
I love that aspect of it. And speaking of Devil's Rejects, that's basically what that shootout was in the beginning, too. Bill Moseley just loves fucking house shootouts with cops. But, yeah, man.
I love watching them, so it's okay.
Exactly. Oh, I loved it. That's another thing. Who the fuck were all those fucking people? There were 20 people up in the house. I didn't understand that, though. Where did they come from?
The extended family came over first.
But I love how, we're gonna be so, continuity, mindful, and we're just gonna throw in fucking Gunnar Hansen for a cameo and pretend it's fucking Uncle Cracker or whatever the fuck his name is,
and then 27 other people that, we're not gonna bother explaining. It doesn't matter.
Right? I went with it. Don't get me wrong.
Did you see Grandpa?
Barely.
Yeah, but did you see him when he got shot? He was holding.
No.
Oh man, it was badass. He was holding the hammer, and so when he got shot, he fell backward.
Oh man!
And then I was just like, Grandpa was coming in to do some fighting.
He was gonna do some damage too.
Yeah, this is a movie you definitely got to watch again. And here, I want to say one more thing about that shootout. I just think the writing for Drayton Sawyer was just a little off, and I'm surprised because this was clearly made by somebody who loves that first movie. How could they get it so wrong?
Right.
Like, just the whole random family members. But did you notice that Drayton Sawyer kept saying "fuck" like a bunch of times?
Yeah.
Like,
and like he should have said like coon shit or something.
Yeah.
Something that he is known for. I felt like the dialogue was not consistent with the character, and I agree with that. I felt exactly the same way.
yeah, exactly. Yep. So that was weird. That's a little off. But Kyle said that there's supposedly somebody talked about. I think the guy who played Leatherface said that on the Blu-ray they're going to have an extended version of this movie, which will have a lot more of Grandpa and I think Drayton Sawyer.
Oh, good.
Yeah, but you see, the Grandpa thing, I was disappointed in his look. I mean, because the problem is this, and plus, it's really weird that they didn't show him more on screen because they got the original guy who played Grandpa to come back.
Oh, that's right, yeah.
But didn't this guy have like wispy white hair? Did you see that? Like long wispy white hair?
Jamie, they dropped it with the looks with him.
Can I be honest with you guys? I don't even remember him. I don't even remember Grandpa in this movie.
Maybe you blinked.
Maybe, dude. Yeah, I'll be honest with you. I don't even. Yeah.
Yeah, he wasn't really there, dude.
Tonally, it slowly but surely it turns into the Leatherface show, and then dude, by the end, they fucking make him the badass hero. And I don't know about you guys, but I loved it. I didn't expect him to go that far with it. I figured they'd make him likable and he was gonna save her. Everybody knew he was gonna fucking save her when she was tied up there.
People did call, not bullshit, but they called predictable on this movie.
Well, it was a lot of it.
Yeah, but before, so do you want to head to spoilers so we get to talk about whatever we want? Like, Dan, 1 to 10, how do you rate this?
8.5, dude. This movie is horribly fucking awesome, dude. I mean, really. I mean, let's face it. There's bad parts in it. There's a lot of predictable. And how about, let's just, for instance, how many times does the girl fucking fall when she's running from Leatherface?
Oh, yeah.
I mean, it's a ridiculous amount where I was kind of laughing at one point. I was like, is this
but
bitch
it
serious?
looked spectacular. I mean, those were two spectacular falls. It wasn't just a trip over a pine cone. These were really well choreographed. So I can appreciate that.
There were too many in a too short a time. She fell like 20 times in a row, and it's like, wow, really?
No, I'm just like, why would you sprained your ankle or whatever, falling downstairs in the beginning? Why would you attempt to jump over
a garden fence?
Right.
A 1.5-foot garden fence, yeah. So that, you just knew that wasn't going to go well. I don't know why she didn't know that as a character. Jamie, how do you rate this movie?
Yes, sir. You know what I'm going to say? 8.
Wow, really? Didn't expect that.
Honestly, I have issues with it, and I'll talk about those in this. But overall, I loved it. It was a good time for me. So, all
right.
But we'll get more in a moment.
This one of those movies, even though it's like you wouldn't imagine. You see, Cabin in the Woods was my first horror film since we've been doing the show that I had to digest before I said anything about it.
Right.
Oddly enough, I had to digest this one. Even though it's a very on-the-surface movie, there's not much to really think about. But for some reason, I do. And I went back and forth. I'm gonna say for now, this might change down the line. Probably, I'm gonna watch it again. Gee, you're on fire tonight.
Thank you.
It might change, but I think right now I'm gonna go 6.5.
I almost went 7.5, but then I was like, that girl's, I don't know. I just. Give it an 8.
Yeah, maybe at the end of this discussion, it might even awaken me to a higher. I think it's only going to go higher. I'll tell you what, it won't go lower than 7. I'll tell you that much.
Well, I think it comes down to talking about our level of not how much we like it, but our problems with it. Like those 7, it's almost from the opposite angle, like 10 down. Because I think we all enjoy this, but there are problems with it. So I mean, we should probably.
Well, I might even my opinion might even go down after I actually discuss what's going on in my head about it, I mean, maybe I'll end up dropping to a 7. Who knows?
Yeah, because it's hard to rate something, like, we literally all watched this less than 24 hours ago, so it's hard to really, like, say something like that, like a rating. I think the important numbers here are not the 7 or the 8s. It's the 2 and the 3 that are missing. That's what that's gonna be the interesting part.
Yeah, yeah.
As far as let's one last thing about Bill Moseley, because that was my main concern in this movie when I first heard about it. I was very excited. I'll just say that I wish he also could have been dressed up a little more authentically. I think his clothes were a little movie propish, a little too baggy and odd looking. It just looked really weird to me. I don't know.
I thought so.
So the smoking blonde in this movie, holy shit. Like, God, is she hot, and the main girl's hot. The main girl is a little too skinny for me, and I don't normally say that, but...
Yeah, but she's not, and I don't like it when girls are, like, bony, or whatever, but I don't feel like she's skinny. I feel like she's lean, but she has, she definitely has curves, that's for sure. And I think she has a nice layer of softness about her that, like her stomach was gorgeous, but it wasn't like rock hard. It didn't look. I don't know. It was very inviting.
It's inviting.
Oh yeah, I'd put a hurting on that shit.
Oh God. Oh Dan, I want to apologize. We never did find out what happened to your buddy, the truck driver, in part 1.
Fuck, dude. I assume that they got him, dude. Yeah, especially if they got other cousins, dude. Fucking Uncle Cracker came and probably shot him in the face.
Dude, I was literally looking down the road to see if I saw if
I was too.
Like, why didn't they show a guy running in the back?
I know, dude. They just don't care about that.
They could have got the same guy to do it.
Let's talk about the recreation of the set from the original. Like, as far as the outside, when you see the truck, then they go up through the yard and you see the swing, and then you see the house. I really felt like I was there.
They nailed it.
I really did. And I was impressed with that. I was, honestly, I didn't expect them to even try that hard. Like, I figured it would begin completely away from that house. I never expected to see it at all, but I think they did an excellent job.
No, they did. Even I thought it was really authentic was the whole red thing behind that sliding door with that shit on it. That was really, really recreated well.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, the little back room there, yeah.
That made you feel like you were there, man.
I don't understand all the backlash about this movie. This is like, it's such an ode to the original, and I'm like, I read all these things before I even saw it, and I was like, holy shit, man. I fucking love this shit, man. This is a great Texas Chainsaw fan movie, man. It's got a lot of continuity issues, but it tries, man. Sorry, go ahead.
There were a lot of little... No, I'm sorry, that was totally me. There were a lot of little nods, like when they talked about going to Texas, and I don't know if it was Ryan who said, I hear they have great barbecue.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it was just little bitty things like that they would drop throughout the movie that were... I just was like, hey.
Yeah. And Jamie, I gotta ask you this question too. Now, when that guy, the head guy there, the head the mayor, when he fought Leatherface, did that remind you of part 2 of Dennis Hopper and Leatherface at it? Yeah. Do you think that was the throwback? Because that's automatically. I was like, oh shit, Jamie's probably fucking dancing in the theater.
Aw, you thought of me.
Of course.
I mean, there were so many of those things. And I was wondering, actually, I thought about Alex at the part where where he puts the guy on the meat hook. And I was wondering if that was going to bother you, that there was yet another meat hook scene. Although, then I was thinking, I was like, I don't really know why, because that's just the way you do things. I mean, that's how the meat hooks are meat hooks for a reason. You slaughter cattle hanging from a meat hook. So to him, he's slaughtering cattle hanging from a meat hook, so, then I was like, well, it's pretty necessary for the character. I mean, it's just a normal piece of life for him. Yeah.
It did occur to me that, there's the meat hook. No, no, I quickly just said, well, that's their thing.
I like how they did that one, though. I like how they did this recent one. He kind of just, he didn't jam him on it. He just kind of threw him up there like, oh, okay. Like an everyday thing.
Yeah, it is an everyday thing with them.
Right.
But Jamie, here's where I would have had a problem. This son of a bitch gets lifted up a little and falls back down on it. I have a problem with it.
Yeah.
And that's funny because my next thought was, okay, if he tries to lift himself off this hook and falls back down, then Alex is going to have an aneurysm.
He's gonna walk up.
I'm walking out of the theater. Yeah, that's I'm walking out at that point.
You know what else we didn't have? But we had an ode to it, sort of. I guess was it dinner?
Window jumping?
No, a dinner scene.
Oh yeah.
But we had the dining room, that was with all the beautiful appointments. It was set up as for a really nice dinner, and but it never. I mean, we never had one. So I thought that was interesting.
Yeah, that was interesting. And okay, well, let's get into characters a little bit because now that you're making me think about the guy who robbed them,
right?
The hitchhiker guy.
Oh, the Brad Pitt guy, like Brad Pitt from Thelma and Louise.
Thelma and Louise, yeah, exactly. Same shirt.
I don't mind you guys hitting me, but I could sue you or take some of the jerky I got there.
See, I thought automatically this guy's going to be the bad guy, but then my mind automatically went to that'd be way too obvious.
Right.
This is a horror movie for horror movie fans. They wouldn't go there that quick. And speaking of that, what'd you guys think of that young cop? I knew he was going to turn out to be some sort of bad guy at some point. He was too pretty. He was a little pretty boy that walked in like, hey, yeah, he's a badass. Something's wrong with that dude.
I feel like with that character, I wanted to believe he was a good guy. And so I just, my mind went to him being a bad guy, and then I was just like, no, I let myself go along with it.
Right. Or he'll probably just get killed and oh, that guy just died. That sucks. Yeah. Right.
I think everybody pretty much caught on when they're driving away and he just wants to stay at the house and it's like and she keeps looking at him and right there and even my girlfriend goes, why would you let him be there out of everybody alone?
No, I would never. I thought the same thing. In fact, your girlfriend and I seem to have the same thing.
Yeah, it's very cliche in a way.
But no, the whole time I'm like, I wouldn't fucking leave that guy. I don't even know him. I'm not leaving him with the house that I haven't even looked at completely yet. Like, she didn't even go upstairs.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, what is that? I don't get that. And the other thing that was odd about it is, what was the thing? I think it was the timing, like how slowly he robbed the house, like how he's trying to pry the door open, and at that point, he's in there a long ass time,
yeah.
Like, didn't he have any sense of urgency? Like, I gotta get out of here. I mean, even the cop or the mayor said that there's no place in that whole area besides that.
Well, and dude, there were a couple scenes that dragged, man. There's one scene where she's in the police station, going through all the stuff. It seems like fucking thing took forever, man.
Oh shit, was that fucking boring and drawn out?
It was.
I don't know why she was going so slowly through it. I mean, wouldn't you just pick it up and be flipping through it first?
And then she wrote murderers on it. That was stupid too.
I thought that was out of character for her. I guess it was supposed to illustrate to us the fact that she was heading the other direction. But I feel like it was a little ham-fisted. I feel like we got that anyway. We didn't really need that. We didn't need that flourish from her. That was just, I don't feel like it was something she would have done at all.
Yeah.
Well, the culmination of that, though, the transformation her at the end, I loved it. That final fucking line, it basically all comes to do your thing, cuz. I love that fucking line.
Oh, I do love that line. And
Come on. Awesome.
The scene where they're both walking back to the house at the end, and you see them.
Yeah.
Oh, that was so weird, though. Come on.
It was, but I thought it was kind of cute.
I didn't
it reminded me of Winnie the Pooh or something. I don't know.
Exactly. That's exactly, dude. Okay, let's get to that part with the bonding of these two. Listen, that just felt so rushed.
Yeah.
The main girl instantly bonds with him, goes back to save him, even as far as throwing him the chainsaw and saying, like Dan said, do your best, do what you do best. That was such a... But that's such a fan-written line. Like, that's something I would have wrote if I was asked to write this movie when I was 14 years old, you know?
You know, Alex, you know what I did like about that, though? When they go back to the house and it was almost like, okay, he's letting her in, and then she touches his face, and then he grabs her. Almost like, all right, bitch, you're family, but I got my limitations, too. Like, I like that. Did you guys get that from that? Because, like, when I first looked at that, I said, oh, wow. I was like, that's some shit, because, I mean, you know, I just, I felt like it gave even another layer to this whole family aspect. And like I said, I liked how they took a different angle. They did a lot of cool things with it. And like we said, it's nothing like mind blowing or anything, but they took definitely a different approach to this movie. And like you said, you fucking made him Winnie the Pooh. That's perfect, dude. It's pretty much exactly it, you know?
Yeah, well, Jamie said, yeah, but I don't know. That was a little like, I literally like had that smirk on my face. Like, come on. like when they were walking, I felt really awkward. Like, I was like, it was just I made a weird face when I saw that. Like, huh?
I had that look like
So
almost
cute.
a full movie, dude. I really just loved this movie. I had a stupid grin on my face the whole time, and I just loved every second of it because you know what, man? I feel like with these movies, and like we said before, they get so much fucking hype, dude. Like Texas Chainsaw is gonna be the next fucking, you know, Godfather or something. It's like, listen, guys, it's a fucking slasher movie. Like we said, we've seen the progression of these sequels and shit like that. I look at it like this is one of the best in the fucking series. Leatherface at the fucking circus too, guys. Are you kidding me? Come on, or at the fair rather. I mean,
that was free. That was ridiculous, though.
But exactly. But I loved it, dude. It was
so stupid.
How about when she gets up on the Ferris wheel?
I don't feel like the guy who's been hiding out for as long as he has and who led such a secretive life before this would have done that. But, you know, I mean,
exactly.
You know, I feel like that was completely out of character for him.
Oh, absolutely.
But,
yeah.
And I also agree with Alex, before we get too far away from it, when you mentioned that you felt their relationship was rushed. I totally get that because she just lost 3 friends.
He killed her boyfriend 10 minutes ago, and now she's saying, go do it, cuz.
And, well, to be honest, I mean, like, she would be stupid to not know that he was fucking the other girl at that moment.
Right.
But,
at the same time, yeah, you know what? It's so weird, Jamie. Let me jump on that right now, because...
You can jump on anything you want.
Let's go in the barn. You just mentioned 2 things that this movie, I will give it credit for covering its ass. Okay, number 1. You say to yourself, why is she saying, come on, cuz, when he just murdered your boyfriend?
Yeah, right?
who you seem to really be into, and your best friend, and whatever assholes with him. But, okay, so the answer, well, she must, even though they were running and she didn't mention it, she could probably tell that these 2 were not, playing Nintendo. You know what I mean?
Right, right.
Okay, so you can say that. You can say, well, she knew, and that's why she was okay with it. Now, the other one was Leatherface running through the fair. You say to yourself, this makes no sense. Why would he, just like Jamie said, a guy who lived like that, why would he be running around? Why this and that? The answer, they covered their ass and said,
yeah, he's going to keep coming because the last time he let a girl go, or the last time a girl got away, he lost his entire family. So... he is basically like a machine. And so, yeah, I mean, that sort of does explain it. I mean, he had he had her in view, and that was all. It's like he had blinders on.
Get that bitch. Get that bitch, Leatherface.
That hog bitch.
So, now you guys talked about, like, how there's, like, a Devil's Rejects type thing. I honestly, quality-wise, I kind of had a Silent Night vibe quality to me at a lot of parts. I think the only difference is they threw more money at this one. But I think the level of writing, the writing, I think the writing kind of severely lacked.
Yeah.
I think it was somehow meant to be sort of mindless to hold true to the original.
Yes.
But
somehow I kept forgiving it. I just really like this movie.
Well, hey, and guys, can we get into the kills, please? Because there were some fucking good moments in this. There were some. I loved all of them, actually.
Great morbid motherfucker.
Yeah, well, I mean, let's start off when he fucking cuts that dude in half. That is badass, dude. And
Yeah,
that makes sense that you said Nicotero did that shit, Jamie, because yeah, that's some Nicotero shit right there.
And I love that. I love that when the cop found it, his response was, "What kind of human does that?" You know, and
Why do you say that?
why do I? Huh?
Why do you like that particularly?
I guess I like the fact that, you know, a cop, of course, he's a cop in a very tiny town, but they've been through this kind of shit before, you know, and but he's just like, oh my God, you know, what kind of human does that? Like, it was as hell. Yeah.
Well, you got that. You got the hammer smashed to the face of the hitchhiker who robbed them. You got the girls. What I love. This is an awesome. You see, these are the kind of winks that don't bother me. The girl busting out of the freezer and the cop shot her in the head.
Oh my God, that was fucking awesome.
That was kind of like a Night of the Living Dead moment, you know, like she's alive. Oh no, she's not. You know.
Yeah, but the best line, and here's what really freaked me out. We're supposed to hate the mayor of this movie by the time it wraps up, but I'm sorry, I fucking thought he was hilarious. He's like, that didn't happen. Keep going. That didn't happen.
Yeah, right. Yeah, he didn't give a fuck about her.
That was hilarious when he said that.
What did you guys think about the sheriff's arc, though? See, that I didn't like, how he basically let him go. I mean, basically let Leatherface go and the girl. He was like, all right, you know, he basically sided with them. See, I thought that was too hokey.
I agree.
Clean this shit up. You know,
yeah, that was good, but yeah.
What?
I didn't like that. I thought that was bad.
Yeah, no, it was bad.
I thought it was a stupid line, yeah, but it's just one of those things where it's like, yeah, it doesn't make any sense, dude. Like, that would never fucking happen, dude. Like, I mean, come on.
No.
He was a bad dude. Well, and let's talk about that, too. I mean, they made a whole...
That was the end of Gone in 60 Seconds.
Oh, yeah, you're right. It was. Yeah, good call. Exactly. And I don't know, I didn't buy that. I thought that was taking it one step too far. And then, like Jamie said, you get that scene of them walking down. See, there's a lot of, like we said, problems with this movie, but I think the amount of nods, like we said, and like we said, the kills too, and, you know, we'll get back into a couple more of those too, but I just feel like overall, dude, I had a blast with this movie. I know it's not the greatest movie in the world. No, I don't think, and anybody should, you know what I mean? It's not like it's mind blowing. It's a fucking fun movie though, and they pay attention enough to the original. So yeah, that's.
Well, I think they treat it with a great deal of respect,
right?
You know, and love. It's obvious that there's a lot of love for the original.
No, obvious.
And I appreciate that. As a fan, I appreciate someone not taking something I love and twisting it beyond recognition and then presenting it to me as if I'm supposed to be thankful for that.
Yeah, fucking Lionsgate, man. We gotta give it up to them real quick, man. They did a good job with this. Thank God it's out of fucking Platinum Dunes.
Right. Well, see, okay, that's another thing I want to talk about is his workshop, you know? To me, that is so much more believable than the crap that was given to us by Platinum Dunes. Okay,
I agree.
It looked so much more natural, so much more believable.
Yep.
I actually bought the fact that a killer lived there. You know,
right.
So there, I think that drives home my point perfectly about the other two.
Yeah, when you think of it that way, it does.
Bam.
Well, this movie, let's not forget, you know, as we wrap this up, let's touch on, of course, you have to talk about the 3D aspect. Now, you know, the blonde, like Dan said, does that walk. That was, like, when you saw her ass in 3D walking with that angle, I just wanted to reach out and grab it, dude. I would, like, that's one of those ones where I'm fooled by the 3D and I go to grab it. But, you know, there were a few cool 3D scenes, and they worked really well and really brought the movie to life.
Oh, how was the chainsaw toss? Leatherface throws the chainsaw. Yeah. I saw it in 2D, and that was my only option as far as time was concerned.
Okay.
So I saw it in 2D. But so I was curious as to how that toss went, because it looked like it would be really cool. Yeah.
It was, yeah. There was a couple of them, and then the one in the coffin too, when the thing's going in the coffin, and
brilliant.
Yeah, dude, that's cool, man. And, you know, I was very skeptical about the 3D, man, and I fucking loved it, dude. I thought
Man, I wish I'd seen it in 3D, son of a bitch. I'm
I
gonna have to
know.
go back.
Yeah, it's the kind of movie you should watch again anyway. You know.
Yeah,
I think
it totally is.
Absolutely. Yep.
This is not a one-time watch by any means.
Fuck no.
You know, what do you guys think of like the setting, the atmosphere of the house, him in the basement? What do you think of the town? Like, how do you feel about the whole setting, really? You know.
They had the whole town mob mentality. I didn't get much of a Texas vibe as I did from the first one, though. It wasn't about Texas.
Not at all.
It wasn't. It's about this is Leatherface, dude. They should have called it Leatherface, really. I mean, I like.
Well, except not once did they even say the word in the movie.
No,
Yeah,
really?
no.
Okay.
No, they called him Jed.
Jed, yeah, Jebediah or whatever, Jezediah, whatever the fuck.
Was that always his name?
He never had a name in the bit, like in the first one. It was Junior, or not Junior. Well, it was like your brother or.
Yeah.
So there was never a mention of his actual name.
The hitchhiker called him Leatherface.
Right.
Leatherface, come help me with Grandpa. You know, I mean, that was what they called him. But I'm glad they went with Drayton Sawyer rather than like one of the other, like Slaughter or Hewitt.
Yeah, Thomas
so
Hewitt. Yeah.
I'm glad they went with Sawyer.
I just think it's funny that when her tits are almost coming out, this guy's focusing on an S and not the tits.
Oh man.
To find out that it's a family member, but
yeah, that's kind of weird.
Like, if thank God I'm not Leatherface, because I would have just sawed her head off. Because I wouldn't be looking for the...
Well, that'd be a shame. She's gorgeous. She's got a beautiful face. I can understand if she was a butterface, but I mean, come on.
Yeah, can you imagine if they made a movie of a killer who, like, just, like, raped and then killed every single... Like, man, these movies would be long.
Yeah, right. We're only halfway through.
Yeah, we're halfway through.
He's still on Drew Barrymore scene.
Nah, yeah, exactly.
Well, see, that's why porn never makes any sense, really, because of the time constraint and how long they spend on each sex scene. They really don't have time to interject much story, so
thank God
they end up jumping around a lot. You know?
Yeah. Well, do you guys have any complaints? Because the main one, the bad CGI with the mayor's grind-up kill, that was really bad CGI to me.
Yeah.
Do you guys agree with that, or you thought that was good?
I didn't notice anything necessarily good or bad about it. I mean, I was okay with it. You know, I thought it was kind of funny when he kicked the hand.
Yeah, that was funny. Yeah, that was good.
I was kind of expecting a little bit more out of some scenes. I think they showed too much in the commercials and the trailers.
Right.
The mayor's son, he played an important role, but I think making him leave before all this shit kind of goes down, it really kind of felt like an incomplete character.
Right.
I just felt like it was a weird way to end his character, and it was really, I don't know, just weird.
Yeah.
I think the movie it lacked good writing.
Right.
Some of the scenes were not directed that great. The look was pretty good. I do like it more than the sepia tone. The plot, basically overall, a little lackluster. Wasn't really the greatest, but it worked.
Yeah.
It wasn't the most fulfilling. It was still good. The pace was steady,
right.
Not really fast or slow. Just a couple of those scenes.
Yep.
Character investment, you know, we always talk about that. I would say that the main girl, I was invested, but just barely, and that was more towards the end.
Right.
I was more invested than throughout. The blonde, I was invested for all the wrong reasons.
Right.
The black guy, I was not invested.
Can I ask you a question about that real quick, Alex? Now, this is just you guys helping me out. I don't remember what happened to his character. How did he die? How did that guy go?
The car accident, his neck was cut and it was squirting against the window.
That he got it in the truck. That's right. Okay, I'm sorry. Yeah. See, there's a couple deaths that are kind of not forgettable, but definitely not memorable. Like more stick out more than others for me. Anyways, yeah.
And plus, well, the one cool thing is you eventually see his head in a big like pan bucket.
Yeah, that was cool. Yeah, that was badass. Yeah.
I guess normally we do the facts first, but I kind of forgot. Marilyn Burns, who played Sally Hardesty in the original, comes back as Verna in this one. That was the old lady at the very end who was writing the note to the granddaughter. I guess that was Marilyn Burns.
Yep.
That was her first role in 28 years, excluding an uncredited cameo in The Next Generation, which I have to look for, I guess. I didn't even notice her in that. In 2007, Platinum Dunces announced they were... I'm just kidding. I like them.
Not bad.
They announced they were abandoning the series following The Beginning in 2006, but in 2009, Twisted Pictures negotiated a multi-picture deal with Bob Kuhn and Kim Henkel, who own the rights to the series. So I guess that's how they were able to put that Part 1 footage in there.
Yeah, nice. I like it.
Yeah, so it is out of their hands, but multi-picture deal, I guess this movie was only made so that they can get a multi-picture deal. I don't know. Maybe...
Huh. Sequels, you think? Huh, interesting.
I don't know. I don't know if they're staying with this one. Usually when it's multi-picture, they just do they agree to do a Texas movie so they can get the 2 movies they want done.
Well, and hey, Alex, I found out what the scene after the credit scene was too. It's basically nothing. It's the 2 adoptive parents, and they come to the door, and Leatherface just chainsaws them.
Oh, really?
It's nothing really. I mean, it's cool, but it's nothing like that alludes to a sequel, or you know how they do at the end of every Iron Man or Avengers, and they, stay after the credits. It's nothing like that. It's more of a almost like a deleted scene type of thing. So it's nothing. Yeah.
So you guys buying this movie when it comes out?
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. Loved it, dude. This movie's fun, man. And like we said, I don't think it's the greatest movie in the world, and I think people put too much on these movies, It's great. It's nothing groundbreaking like the original or anything, but you know what? They tied it enough, and dude, I had a fucking ton of fun. I'm definitely buying this shit.
I consistently have been very forgiving of this series in that I don't really care what they do with it. I end up loving it anyway, except for the Platinum Dunes ones. And that was mainly, I don't like the look of those. I don't like the sepia tone. I don't like the bloody mess in the base. I mean, to me, it's just way over the top. But this one, I think, brings it back. It's really fun. And I am, like I said, I was very forgiving through the whole thing. Like, I knew those glaring errors were there, or those bothersome moments, but I just, I didn't care. Like, I was enjoying it way too much.
Yup, definitely.
Clown smile, death warmed over. Man, you can't trust anybody these days. I took my car to the garage to just get a new alternator, and man, they put in a whole fuel pump. Cost me $100 extra. You can't trust anybody these days. About all you can do is die around here. Clown smile, death warmed over. I got no hope for anything happening. No, the check is not in the mail. No, I don't love you. Yes, that was me that cut that fart, okay? I'm owning that, all right? Because that's the smell of death warmed over. Clown smile. I've been to the circus before. Let me tell you, buddy, those guys are in makeup. Well, I'm pretty pissed about it, wouldn't you be? I've been sold a bill of goods by a clown, no less. Guy had a white face, big red smile, rubber nose, little pointed hat, looked like an ice cream cone stuck on top of a neck. Well, yeah, I am pretty pissed about it, thank you very much. I watch TV. Every other minute they're selling me something, this and that, and Nike, and blah, 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 and do that, and you'll marry that girl, and you have a floor, and you'll clean it, and you'll be in a refrigerator with a bunch of margarine. Yeah, and you will live forever, because if you eat that bean product, or that curd, or that Coca-Cola, everything will be fine. You'll laugh all the way to your fucking grave. Clown smile, death warmed over, and when you die and you go to heaven or hell, it doesn't really matter. You'll come out of your body, peel like a grape, and you look around and you go, well, here I am. I took it up the ass for so goddamn long, now I'm dead, so where's my eternal reward? And guess what, buddy? Guess again. Yeah, you'll meet God, all right. You'll meet God. It's a big motherfucker with a big white face and a red smile and a pointed hat like an ice cream cone stuck on a neck. And guess what? You'll get the old clown smile, death warmed over. You're back down to earth. You're
coming back this time as a Hutu, or a Tutsi, or someone from Northern Ireland, or maybe a Serb, or maybe one of those Bosnia Muslims in a ethnic cleansing camp this time. Oh, thanks a lot, pal. Thanks a lot. Clown smile, death warmed over. Oh, don't do me any favors, you fucking asshole. I gotta get another car.
Now that we got this all wrapped up with the retrospective, and I had a good time doing this one. This is one of my favorites to do, actually. So, even though I went wild for a while, you probably couldn't tell. We ranked the first 4 movies, talked about the best kills in those. So, let's go ahead with this one, and then maybe we'll do an overall rank. If you guys could even, I don't know, if you could do that, I don't know, let's try to rank them if we could.
Yeah.
It's kind of hard to do, because I didn't write it down or nothing, but... So, the best kill out of these last 3 movies, I'm gonna say, I think sawing the guy on the hook was probably one of the better kills.
Yeah, man.
That's what I was gonna say.
Yeah, that...
You too?
You know what, though? It wasn't even a kill, just a little notable mention in this, when he fucking slams the hook in the kid's back and drags him down the fucking stairs, and it's fucking... Like, I love that.
Yeah, no,
one.
I liked that.
That's not where he died, but I mean, that was badass, man. I actually laughed at that, which was, I mean, I love that. But, yeah.
I think it could have been shot better with a better sound effect, actually. I think it could have been better.
Yeah.
A little bit better. How do you rank this one for, let's just say, for all the newer ones, top for these 3 movies? How would you rank this?
This, definitely over the other 2. I'd go this, Remake, and then The Beginning. And honestly, overall ranking, even going back, dude, I gotta say, this is fucking better than all of them, dude. This goes right behind the first. This is a, dude, fuck yeah, man. Absolutely. And I'll be honest with you, upon watching this and the how many odes they had to the original and how they kept the continuity, I actually like the Platinum Dunes ones less. And I love those movies, but watching this, you almost realize, well, they don't have to totally fucking disregard everything, and that there are ways of doing it. So yeah, man, they get kicked in the back seat. Take a back seat, buddy. 3D's back in town. Hell yeah.
Thank you, darling. And now that's one more in my camp. Suck on that, Lloyd.
Yeah, but
I did not expect Dan to say all that.
Well, no, listen. I still consider those movies better than. Now we never talked about this, but I still consider those better than 2, 3, and 4. Not the original. Don't get me wrong, but I like the Platinum Dunes ones more than those ones. But I gotta say, if overall ranking, it probably would have to go 1, this one, and then the Remake, The Beginning, and then the rest of them. You know, who cares about those? But yeah, so that's how I would rank them. I look at those are the good ones, and then the last ones are the bad ones, with the exception of 3. I don't hate that one.
Let me ask you a quick question now. We admitted that the remake was better technically done than the original, except for those, artistic value of the original. Do you agree that the remake is still better done than this one?
Stylistically, yes. This has not a lot of style in it. Like, I didn't notice the shots. I didn't notice, too much of that. It's just a movie, man. You don't think too much of it, as opposed to the stylistic aspect of the remake. Yes, I definitely.
Okay, the remake was shot better. The sound effects were better.
Yep.
The kills were probably done better. I just can't remember them.
Right.
The acting was probably better.
Mm-hmm.
The characters are way stronger.
I disagree. Oh my god.
Even Ermley Helmley or whatever his name is.
Arlie Ermy.
Yeah. You don't think that character far outweighs like the mayor or the cop in this one?
No, it does.
Yeah, he does. But you said the characters, like as in all the characters, which I.
Yeah. Which one is not strong? Look at these characters. The hitchhiker's nothing. The boyfriend of the blonde is nothing. The one that got dragged down the stairs.
Yeah, right. Who?
The blonde you didn't even like, and the main girl. The main girl could absolutely compete with Jessica Biel, so I don't see how these characters are any better than the remake.
No, they're not. You know what? And going from character to character, it's probably a little mixed bag. But dude, Arlie Ermy fucking kills it in those movies.
Yeah.
He was the bad guy with Leatherface, like we said, in the background, fucking hacking people up with the saw and being told what to do, as opposed to this movie, which is Leatherface is the bad guy, well, through the first half, and then he's a fucking soupy.
Yeah, he's a good guy. That's weird. You never normally... And also, even the guy with the no legs is a stronger character in the remake.
Yeah.
Than let's just say the guy who got his face slashed when he was when that girl slashed his face. Like I don't know. It's weird. It's weird to like kind of mix and match and compare. And even the mayor's son was not anything like I don't know.
Yeah.
You just throw him around. I don't know.
Yep.
I think the characters are way stronger in the remake than this. The directing's way better. The sound effects are way better.
I agree.
All right, you got to stop with the directing, though. That is.
The directing was great in that one. Marcus Nispel did a great job.
I think so.
Now, are you crazy? I can't stand him. But
I don't know.
It's exactly the stylistic part of those movies that I can't stand. Even though he didn't do the beginning, but
right, yeah.
That's exactly what I don't like about them, the entire atmosphere. But
yeah, but that's just you though. Like, it doesn't mean it's not good. It's just your style that you don't like, but it doesn't mean it's not good.
I didn't say it wasn't good. I said I don't like it.
No, I know, and I agree with that. I understand that part, but I'm saying technically, like visually, that was better than this.
I don't think so.
Really?
No, I don't think so.
See, I think they were really
I think this movie had some really good shots. Like, I really like that shot of them walking up the path together. I mean, there was a reason it reminded me of Winnie the Pooh, and it was because of the way that, you know, she's kind of innocently walking next to him and he's toting his chainsaw. There was something sweet about it, you know, but I really liked the camera work there.
That's a good shot.
You know, I liked that through a lot of it. Yeah. So.
Well, I applaud those couple 3D scenes were badass.
Yeah.
You guys did a great job. Even the freaking intro when the name split in half and it came out your face, dude.
Oh, yeah.
That freaked me out, man. That was great.
Dude, I loved it. I loved every second of it, man.
I loved every 3D, like major 3D scene. And I will warn everybody, much like most of these movies, 90% of it doesn't matter if it's in 3D. It does nothing for it. But when it comes to the what's that called? The gimmicky stuff.
Right.
Excellent. Best gimmicks ever in a horror movie 3D.
And it didn't take you out of it either. It really.
No, it brought me in it.
Exactly, man. I agree, man.
You gotta watch it in 3D, yeah.
Yep.
So that's it, I guess. So our journey through Texas is over. For those Texans like Jason Lloyd, I hope you liked it. I hope big fans of the franchise enjoyed this, like Kyle and everybody, and it was fun.
Yeah, man, I had a fucking blast doing this shit.
I did too, and I just want to thank everyone, all the listeners out there who have been so sweet and welcoming me on the show, and taking the time to reach out. It means so much. Because you guys have some pretty rabid fans, and if they didn't like me, then that could be bad. So, very grateful for the warm welcome that I've gotten. Thank you so much.
Definitely. Yeah. And we're happy to have you, Jamie. Everybody loves you. If this is a taste of things to come, then I, for one, am fucking super ecstatic.
Thank you.
Yeah, Jamie is a great addition. It just worked out, those first 36 episodes are like, classic old shows, I guess, it's just a new age for the show. And luckily, when you have now that those have become classic in a way because they're time stamped, obviously there's the first thing of our shows, the first half, then you got those couple middle shows, and then now we're going to the second half. And the only thing that could be better than having a nice set of first ones that people really like is that the next half are better.
Yeah.
I think that's what's going to happen, and that's what I'm excited about. I think it's already better. I mean, Jamie just adds so much that it was just, you don't notice that something's not there till you have it.
Exactly.
And that's what she is to me. and all that. And I'm very proud of all that stuff. I look very fondly on all those shows.
Yeah.
I had probably one or two that weren't that, I felt like, these are good enough, I guess. But no, I think we tried hard enough and got a good thing out of those.
Definitely. Yep.
Yeah, those are decent. So, that's it, I guess.
Well, thank you. You just made me blush. Thank you.
Yep. And hit you up around, the last third of the month, probably.
Yep.
Sometime around then. And I'm not exactly sure what we're going to have, but it will probably be a lot of catch-up work because dedicated a lot of time to Texas Chainsaw, so that we're missing a lot of the middle stuff there.
Yeah, we got a lot of cool movies to review coming up soon, so this next show is going to be a lot of fucking fun.
Yeah, we're playing catch-up.
All the good shit.
Yep. So for Leatherface, Drayton Sawyer, Chop Top, Hitchhiker, Jessica Biel's stomach.
Armadillo. There was another armadillo in this.
Yep.
On behalf of all of them.
And then the new blonde's ass and legs.
Oh, good
God,
Lord.
those legs. Oh my
Dude, the
God.
bottom half of that booty. Oh, praise the Lord.
She doesn't have a bad angle, man. Her face wasn't that great. She has a weird nose, but
yeah.
Other than that, yeah, man. Death in Texas. That's one way to go.
Yes, sir.